All right. So when we last left off, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Does anyone want to handle the recap, brief recap, for an inspiration point?
I think it's Brandon's turn.
Well, the island has voted you, Brandon.
I mean, that might be the case, but you're not going to get a very good answer out of me.
Well, give me the best you got.
Can you give him negative inspiration?
Yes.
You have writer's block.
No, like I seriously won't remember until someone else breaks it down, and then things will come to me.
I'll attempt it. Okay, class. We had a class where we had to do jump over or onto columns and stuff and into a wagon, and there was fire. Was that this game or last game before I
Okay.
continue?
That was last
You're
time.
right.
And then
All right, we did that. Then we had like a free day, right? And we ended up, most of us, I believe, in the library. We built well, did we actually build a fort? I don't know if we actually built a fort. My memory is not great these days.
Pillow fort.
Yeah, the pillow fort. We had like a mini stakeout looking for whoever broke into the restricted section. Am I correct on this?
yeah, and there was that professor, the one with the German accent.
Yeah. And then we got to decide if we wanted to go hunting or go into town, and somebody decided to go hunting and made it rain pigs from the sky, and it didn't go well for them, and the rest of us went into town.
All right, Hog Cloud.
Yeah. Hog cloud. And so where we broke it off at the very end, you had actually been approached for a job by Tully and the Thieves Guild in the tavern. And
Yeah, that was my next point.
Oh, I thought you were finished.
No, it's too late now. You already said it, but I feel like I did okay.
Still get your point of inspiration because you remembered pretty much all the major beats.
And that's funny because as soon as she started in, like it all came flooding back. So yeah, thank you.
I don't think she should get her point of inspiration because she didn't mention the fact that I won the first challenge.
You got lucky. I'm fucking amazing at acrobatics. I don't know how it happened, but Zeratius fucking kills it with flips and spins, so suck it.
Hey, I won too.
I'd rather be lucky than good.
So we are going to go right back to where we left off. Merrick, I believe you at this point, you said you were practicing with Professor Daffodil while they were in town?
Well, I went back to get healed because I was only at 3 hit points.
Ah, right. And we will get back to you soon enough, but we're gonna go right back to where we cut.
They can have their 30, 45 minute window.
I can't get the page to load for me.
It is loaded for me.
Everything is good on my end.
It won't take me off the map page, so I'm gonna reload.
Also, can you turn the volume up on your end in case?
Yes.
Creepy.
Tasdingo.
Is this an ambush? I told the librarian about the book. I wrote it down. Come on, this is not...
Your voice hasn't changed.
Oh.
What is this, some kind of ambush? Because of my library book?
No.
A million times better, my friend.
So you've been ushered in to the back room And the man with the white hair bid you all take a seat. And Tully sort of guards the exit, looks back at you with his arms folded. And your host, sitting in front of you, looks around at you, sizing you up, and says, "Well, welcome to the Thieves Guild. Got a job for you if you're interested."
Do you make it a habit to recruit complete strangers in the bar?
"Oh, strangers, I'm insulted. Why, my friend Tully here vouched for you and said you're the up-and-comers and the next saviors of Falcovia."
Oh, he did.
Is that what he told us? Because I'm pretty sure he was kind of a dick to us.
Tully laughs to himself.
I'd just like to point out that we've been here a week.
"Well, you see, you're perfect for the problem that I have. Y'all are students up at that guild, that Slayers Academy. Yes, of course you are. Look at you. They have some interesting books in their library, and I'd kind of like to read one, but the only problem is I got library fees."
I can kind of relate. I knew this was about my book. Wait, do you know about my book?
He just kind of looks
Anyway,
at you and blinks.
I got library issues too, so I don't know if I can help you.
"Yeah, it turns out I just don't like returning things."
Oh,
He did mention he's in the Thieves Guild, right? So you want us to
yeah.
steal something from the library?
"Well, why do we have to be so harsh about it? Can't we? I want to borrow the book."
And
You want
never
us to
return
borrow
it because
something
you don't
indefinitely?
return things. Because
Say,
didn't you just say you never return things? So you're not a very good borrower, I guess, by your
uh,
own.
let's not say never. I just don't like doing it. He reaches into his desk and he pulls out a little coin purse and throws it on the table in front of him, and he says, "The pay is good, and it's a guaranteed passing of Tully's class." And he sort of gestures to Tully, who looks back and nods at each of you to give affirmation.
How much are you willing to pay us, and what do you want us to get?
He slides the coin pouch further to you that he threw on the table.
Unless those are magic coins that can bypass barriers, I'm not sure we can be of much help.
250 gold up front, another 150 when you bring me the book.
What book?
Let's see here. And he reaches, filing through some papers in his drawer, and he pulls out a tiny little scroll and unfurls it, and he squints his eyes and he says, "A treatise on bone arts."
The art of the bone.
He laughs.
Is it in the restricted section or is it in the normal section? Because we can't get in the restricted section if we want to.
"Oh, you can't get into the restricted section."
Yeah, what do you have to say like that, though?
"Well, I think you need to find a way to get into the restricted section."
Sounds like
Tully
you need to
can-
find a way.
Tully,
to get to the
yeah,
restricted
like-
section.
We don't need your money, really, like, that bad, I guess.
Tully kind of steps up and takes a knee next to you guys, and he's like, "All right, come close." And the white-haired man kind of stands up and he's like, "What the fuck is this, Tully? I thought you vouched for them. I thought you said they were right for the gig." He waves his hand up, just a second, and kind of waves everybody to huddle around him. And come here, students, come here. This is important.
I lean in.
He looks around at you and he's like, all right, so here's the thing. Some very bad people that it would be very bad if they got their hands on this book are after it. Van Richten is too proud to know that he cannot keep this from them where he has it. But he can also not know that I plan on taking it so that he will not know where it is and thus they will not be able to gain access to it. This is something that actually only you or House One, maybe we can enlist their help too if you think that. Are they cool? You think those guys are cool? Kind of looks around at you.
Most of them.
Okay, because we may need them. But basically, Van Richten cannot know. He can suspect, but he cannot know who did it. And you all are the only ones who are uh, not in the school's track system yet. That only happens once you become conscripts. So you know those little rubies, those badges that you got on you? Eventually, those will be marked with the magic to know where staff and conscripts are at all time, but you guys are not on that grid, and that is why we need you. This is a good thing. This is not we're not selling this book. We're not ripping this book off. We are taking this and putting it somewhere safe so that something disastrous does not happen.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Your friend, this white-haired guy here, he's pretty sus.
Well, he is the leader of the Thieves Guild.
I tell you
All right.
what, make it an even 400 now. And we'll see about getting your book.
The white-haired guy scratches his chin and he says, 300 now, and a total of 500.
All right, that's acceptable.
Well, this one looks like he's ready to make a deal. What about your friends, huh? It's an all or nothing package.
Well, you probably won't be able to do this without me, so I'm in.
I feel
Maybe.
like
I
such
try
has
to-
to pay for.
Anybody that's like questioning, like looking at me while I'm doing this, anybody from the party, I'm going to try to give them a subtle wink.
I just want Tully's assurance that we're not gonna get impaled in the courtyard.
Oh no. I'll see to that. Don't you worry about that.
That this is all like on the up and up, and
And
we're not gonna be like fugitives.
Well, it's not on the up and up, but in reality, it all comes back on me.
Well, what if we get caught? And are you gonna be like, I knew they were bad people? Are you gonna turn on us if we get caught?
Mart, we'll talk about it later. It'll all be fine.
So are you in? Can I count on you?
Whatever, I'm with them because I don't know anybody else.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right then. He stands up and claps his hands and starts rubbing them and turns around and grabs a map and sort of rolls. Before he unfurls it, he says, "Well, the first order of business is getting that fine feathered friend you got in on it, and him not squawking about it and letting everybody know. He tends to be very frank when he speaks."
We'll control
Yeah.
him. Don't worry.
It's whatever. Like, we're just not tell them why we're doing what we're doing.
Well, you're gonna need his help. It's gonna take all of his.
Can we call him right now with the stoner and be like,
no. Let's not call him yet. Let's talk about it before we have to tell him.
You don't have the stone anymore. It was turned back in.
you're not? Yeah, we had to turn that shit in. So didn't we get somebody else to check it out again or something?
I think you suggested it, but nobody took you up on your suggestion.
Not me. I don't think I.
So,
Anyway.
pause this for a second. Here's how I have this going to work. I have made a, well, not made, I have sort of borrowed and pieced together some heist rules for you guys. It's kind of different. It's kind of cinematic. We are going to sort of do it as we plan it. So I've just given you all access to these mechanics. Basically, each sort of aspect of the plan you guys are going to make is going to be something that is rolled on to see where you set up. And the way it works is for everything that you do to sort of embolden your plan, you get a 1d6. You also start with a 1d6 as just blind luck. And depending on what everybody decides they're going to do for the plan of action, you then roll your collected dice, and it is, if you get a 1, 2, 3, it's a bad result, and you kind of start in that part of the plan in medias res in a bad situation. If one of them and it's not totals, it's one of the die. If the highest die comes up as a 1 through 3, it's a bad result. If the highest die comes up as a 4 or 5, it's sort of a mixed result. You're in a risky position, but you also have things going your way. If one of them, the highest is a 6, it's a good result. You're in a controlled position, and if 2 of the die come up as 6s, it's critical, and it goes your way plus bonus. So the first order of business is, how are you going to inform Marek and make sure that he is on board to do this with you?
We can give him misinformation. My idea that was forming involved something along the lines of telling Merrick the wrong plan and knowing his honesty, just when the heist is going down, kind of plan on putting him in a place where his honesty will get the best of him and he will blurt out the wrong thing, and the people in power will hear his fake plan and think that it's a real plan the way it's delivered, and they'll divert their forces, and it'll be kind of like a distraction. I'm just trying to think of a way, what kind of emergency would call the librarian and the people out of Google and that kind of stuff away. That's the starting plan that I'm having in my head.
Or get them to open the library door.
Well, let's put this in. We're now cinematically. This would be the part where the organizer rolls out the map and starts going over everything that's there. So, do you want to say that out loud in this sort of planning session?
Yeah. That's like Marcus wants to share that with everybody, that we should use Merrick's honesty as a tool. And use that as a way to use it to cause a distraction. Maybe give him the wrong information or something like that, but some way to use him as a distraction to pull people away from the library, or to pull people into an area which will eventually pull people away from the library, because we have to get people out of the library and get the barriers down and get us a path in and out.
White hair pipes in and says, well, I like it, but keep that in your back pocket for now, because you actually don't have all the information yet. Tully, step up. Tell them what's going on. Tell them what they don't know. And so Tully sort of finally unscrolls the map, and it's basically a crudely drawn representation of the library. Now, don't pull your tokens out here. We're just going to be looking.
Can we draw?
Sure. And we'll start down towards the bottom by the reception is where you want to be looking.
Do you know where the book is?
The book is for certain in the restricted room.
Do you know where in the restricted room?
To the right, and that's when he slams his dagger down through that section on the map. So, there are going to be, starting tonight at the feast, 2 guards posted on off hours outside the library. Here and here.
It's like Metal Gear Solid.
There are also windows that lead in, but those have all been trapped from the outside and the inside, and it's probably not a way that you want to go. Now, striking next Sunday.
Wait, we just stayed the night in the library last night, and it was like cool.
That was last night. The new security measures have gone into practice as of today.
Oh, okay.
Now, Tully says, and he says, next week's feast is the perfect time for you to do this. Everyone will be involved and there and present at the feast except for these 2 guards. How do you plan to take care of these guards and get past them?
I had this idea where we unbatten the hatches. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No, Mert.
We let loose the undead in the courtyard.
Why would you do that?
So the guards have to go and tend to and fight them.
But the courtyard isn't right next to the library. We need something. What
And
about
that's
a
going to
fire?
draw everyone else to the feast.
Or just light something on fire.
Oh, you know, that's, I don't know why that wasn't the first thing I thought of, but you know, just
It's alright, I got you back.
I mean, that's great. Thank you for being there for me.
No problem.
Yeah, let's burn some shit. I mean, but the guards, they're not like the fire crew, right? What are they gonna do with the fire?
You make it small, something that they feel like they can put out on their own. Like not one of your fires, but like a couple of books on the ground, like in this area.
No. Mass chaos. A fire and something.
Wait,
Two
are the guards inside the library?
They are outside.
Yeah, so we need.
Oh, I thought they were
So
inside.
we can't even get in until we deal with these guards. So, I mean, I could light someone on fire, or I could light one of the guards on fire. Maybe
No, we're not trying to get impaled, Mert.
burn his ass.
I highly advise that you do not kill or otherwise grievously harm these guards. That's not what this mission is about. Tully kind of, we don't want to kill anybody here. We're trying to save lives, actually.
Well, yeah, I can create a magical fire, you know, that like doesn't go out when people try to put it out.
And
But
how does this help you get past these guards?
well, they can try to put it out, and it'll take them a long time because it won't work.
And what's to keep them when they can't get it out from going to the mess hall and getting everyone who's gathered there to come back?
What?
Because it'd be rude.
What if?
All right, I think we're gonna
What
have to
if-
knock these guards unconscious.
No. We don't need to assault them in any way. What if
We
somebody
can
were?
put them to sleep. I can't do that, but maybe somebody.
So what if I use some cantrips and just make them think there's a natural disaster? Little lightning, some ominous noises in the ground. Make them flee for shelter.
I was thinking if somebody were to show up as a reveler, acting like they're a little bit too drunk from the party, and falling all over the guards, and the guards would have to like help this person back to their room,
What if
or
only one of the
somebody
guards
doing
leaves?
something, or is somebody doing something small and getting the guards' attention and running away, so the guards have to chase them.
If they're there for a reason, they're not just going to chase someone. They're not going to abandon their post for something minuscule.
Everybody has their price. Everybody has their motivation. Something would pull them away.
Are the library doors locked?
Self-preservation.
The library doors are going to be locked with the magic of a pass stone that only the faculty have. But Tully reaches into his pocket and he puts that down on the map and says, "I can take care of that much for you." And there's his pass stone right there, sort of.
Does this get us into a restricted zone too?
Yes.
Oh shit! It's on.
Doesn't this mark you as the one who gave us the stone, though?
But
yeah, is it gonna register as your name?
you need 2 pass stones to get in to the final restricted room. So you're gonna have to come up with another pass stone. But
does it register whose pass stone is used and at what time and stuff like that?
No, it does not.
Well, that's good.
But first things first, you got a guard problem.
I don't know.
Now look,
I like this idea, like, of letting the undead loose, and then, I mean, I could set them on fire, you know, and it'd be even scarier.
But how is that going to pull the guards in front of the library?
I just think it'd be all hands on deck to like deal with that while the people in the mess hall are like, you know, not ready to fight, whereas guards are like all ready to fight because they're guarding stuff, you know.
Tully's kind of like, that sounds risky. I mean, ultimately, this is your job to fail at, but
No, I thought it was your job.
I'm not the one getting 500 gold.
But it was your idea. Wait, are we your fall people?
He rubs his head.
Getting paid? Tully,
I still think there's a way to distract the guards that doesn't involve doing any bodily harm to them.
Now, also, I want to say, while you're doing all this, think of time as kind of fluid right now, because basically we have a whole week until the night that you are going to do this. And so we're going to sort of think of things, how you can overcome obstacles. We'll play them out as they happen during the course of that week. And that includes anything getting Merrick involved in. So we can include him in this discussion as well. It just has to, we're going to be jumping back and forth between, we're discussing the plan here, you're discussing it in your dorm room. So because I don't want him to feel left out of the
I don't want him to feel left out either, but I think there's like an element of his honesty that we have to consider what we're telling him, and I think that's something that if we use it properly, it can be used as a benefit.
How about we use his He's so naive. Why don't we just tell him that the guards are going to be hungry and they need more food? Have him cast more, use his artifact, I don't remember what it is, but cast more things to hunt, more boars, distracting, make them fight, but not us, not a magic thing, just animals. Make him kill, like, pigs, boars, whatever he casts. Make him think that we need more food for the feast.
Tully kind of pipes in, and he's like, that is a explorable route. But you just said something. You said something about bringing food. Maybe Merrick could be told that the guards are hungry and need more food. But what is in the food that's being brought to them? Huh? You follow me?
There you go. As long as we do something non-fatal, just in case we get caught.
More hard cloud.
So that's what we're doing. We're not discussing anything else with Merrick. The only thing we're telling him is that during the feast he should go feed the guards. We should also find out what the guards' favorite foods are during the next week.
But are there patrols? Will they be checking on them? Does this put us in a time constraint to get in and out?
They're stationary. They take their meal before the feast, and then they're there all night.
So no one
Some kind of dessert. We should bring them a dessert or something.
Yeah, so what if we poison their food with some sleeping potion or some shit?
But I feel like if we're going to go out, make it ale. Give them alcohol. Why food? They're not going to care as much about food.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What if we acted like we were just having a few drinks ourselves, walking past the library, and offered them a quick drink, but we gave them a drink from a different flask?
Yeah, that could work.
That's traceable.
So what do we tell Merrick then? Nothing?
I mean,
Are the guards gonna be down to drink on their shift? I don't. It's probably like.
it's
Tully grabs his belly and laughs deeply as you ask that question. Of course they are.
Especially during the feast that they're missing out on.
It's a pretty cool job.
It's not bad.
If we're hand delivering it, we need. How to phrase this? We need some deniability. If we're going to make them sick or fall asleep, if something's going to happen, one of us needs to take a hit. We bring them food and ale from the feast. One of us also needs to get sick. At least have them see someone throwing up. Pretend to throw up, whatever it is, so we can have deniability when they come to. Because if someone investigates and they say, oh, well, this is missing from the library, and the guards are outside, yeah, they gave us stuff and we passed out. If we go, well, we just brought it from the feast, we also lost Mert. Mert passed out too. We had no explanation. We had to carry her back to her room. Something.
I like this plan where I just have to get drunk and pass out.
Oh, no, little one. That was just an example. I still think you should set a fire.
Well, maybe I can do that while I'm drinking.
That sounds like an excellent plan.
But I will be, like, get blacking the fuck out, and, you know, who knows what'll happen after that. But yeah, I like this.
So what are you sticking in these guys' drinks, huh? You got any ideas?
I was hoping you could provide that.
In the locker with the stuff that we exchanged for the tokens, there's a tankard of potent drink, which makes
just we'll give them a little extra drunk, and some people will have a higher tolerance. I think we either need to think about something that will send them to the latrine, or something that will put them to sleep immediately.
All right. I imagine that the alchemy workshop has what you need for a weak poison. I imagine that the Zeta Daffodil, or maybe also in the alchemy lab, is something that could put them to sleep. I will also offer that I know next week you will be learning and working with cockatrices, and their saliva is known to cause absolute petrification for hours and hours.
But not a day, just hours.
I heard if it lasts longer than 4 hours, you're supposed to call a medical professional.
Aye, that's true, Whitebeard pipes in. Never happened to me, though.
All right, well, then it sounds like it's kind of decided for now. We just got to figure out the discovery, or figure out how we're going to deliver it to them, and fine-tune that. And I would suggest that over the next week, we try to figure out the guards, like if someone can become their friend and get to know them a little bit. That way it seems a little less out of the ordinary when we offer them a drink during the feast.
I nominate Mert.
Oh, come on, you guys. I'm not like a super social butterfly, you know? But,
You're the most likable. What are we gonna do?
I mean, what approach should I give them? Should I be like, all trying to like get with them and stuff, or should I be like trying to be their friend who likes to
I
party?
think it. Just be yourself.
I would say just sniff around and see which avenues are the most available to you.
What we should just ask in the class how the cockatrice's stuff, like what form that comes in, and then maybe we can figure out how we give it to them.
We just put it in their drink, from what I understand.
What if we can like shoot a dart in their neck and they turn to stone for 4 hours or something, you know?
I think the way we're talking about is a good plan A. Maybe that's good for a plan B. You know what? Now that you're mentioning it, that's not a bad plan B. We could start by trying to deliver it through a tankard. If for some reason they're adamant and they just simply will not drink, and then we'll have somebody that's waiting nearby to shoot a dart in their neck. Cole, you're a tribe of people. You guys work with darts?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Cole can do it. I don't need
Worst comes to worst, we'll light a fire.
I don't want to be a friends with guards. You know, like
That's still our plan A.
Oh, why don't you do it, Marcus?
You're
pretty charming.
You trying to say that you're less likable than me? I might be more handsome.
I think Zeratius is also likable, very, very likable, and.
All right. It sounds to me like you guys have sort of the formation of a plan to get past these guards. This is the GM speaking. One of you take point and tell to me concisely what your plan is for the guards.
Who wants to explain it?
Because I need to determine how many dice you get for your plan.
Okay, I'll do it. Go ahead, Brandon. You do it.
No, it's fine, man.
No, you haven't been speaking much. You do it.
I'm already blanking. You go.
Okay, so over the next week, Mert is going to try to become friends with the guards and learn what they're into, whether it's romantic friendship, anything, even if they just want to trade rocks, whatever they're into. We're also going to spend over the next week getting the saliva of the cockatrice so that we can use that to spike a drink, because a week from now or whatever, when the feast is happening, then we are going to leave the feast and have drinks and give them drink with the cockatrice so that we can get past them.
Who is going to get the cockatrice saliva?
We're all in the class. It was made that Tully was going to have a class with us and cockatrice, so it seems like any of us could try to get it while we're there.
Actually,
Or all of us even.
that's gonna be Van Richten's class, and yes, you will all be dissecting cockatrices on Monday.
Okay, so as long as one of us gets it, so we'll all try to get some cockatrice saliva with the understanding that not all of us will be able to. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's some good thinking in only one person trying to steal it. That way it doesn't look like a conspiracy. It just looks like a curious person. Like if they catch 5 students stealing cockatrice saliva, then it looks like something major is going down. If they catch one person, it's just a weird macabre kid with too much time in their hands.
All right, so Mert makes friends with the guards, finds out what they're into. You get the saliva of a cockatrice. What else? What's the next step in your diabolical plan?
Then the next step is the feast. We poison the guards' drink, and give them a sip of it, and we go in.
There was talk of a plan B.
Yeah, the plan. Oh yeah, right. We need to get. Well, I mean, when we have like code, do you have access to blowguns and darts? Do you know how to make them?
Yeah, I can easily make them.
Okay, so then once we get the cockatrice saliva, then it's just a matter of application, and we'll ask questions in our alchemy class if that's something that we can be doing and stuff. Like we don't know. Like, does the cockatrice saliva, can we inject it into a person's neck and it works the same as them drinking it?
Yes.
Okay, well then we don't need to find that out. So there you go. So during the next week, Ko can spend his time getting his blow gun ready and practicing it if he needed to or whatever. Mert's going to get to know the guards. The rest of us are going to try to keep Merrick in the dark as much as we can, because unfortunately this plan, the way we have it laid out right now, it just does not involve Merrick at all because of his honesty, which I still think that that's a missed opportunity. We can find a way to involve him and his honesty to create a diversion or something, but I just don't know how.
I have your suggestion.
Can you tell us? Is that metagaming?
I'm going to tell you. So what you can do is over the next week is Merrick has that ring that lets him change a spell, right? You guys can be like, hey, we want to, see this ring and what it can do and stuff, and then test out whatever a goofberry does, and Merrick can make goofberries and we can figure out what that is, and it might be something that you can give the guard along with their drink to help that procedure. So you're involving Merrick, but he's really just making these berries, thinking he's being a good little Merrick.
That could be interesting. Like, what if it makes them laugh uncontrollably, like that hideous laughter spell or whatever, and then we just walk in and...
And what if it's heightened magic like the fucking hog cloud?
I kind of like that idea too. But we have
it just comes down to, I think there's less chance of them eating that. Because kind of like what Katie was saying, like after they get done with a big meal, they'll be in the mood for a beer, but I don't think they're going to be in the mood for any fruit.
You could also squeeze those into the drink.
Yeah, they're small. It'd be like a blueberry, like a garnish or something.
All right, that puts a new wrinkle into it. I'm curious to which way you guys want to go with this now.
I think that adds a layer of complexity that doesn't have as good of a payoff. Like we already have access to something that will knock them out.
It's a plan C. It's a fallback plan.
Yeah, but it would be a plan C that would take a lot of planning ahead of time, and it would add the risk of involving Merrick in the plan, which, like, it almost feels like it's right now. That's why I'm saying, unfortunately, it feels safer to keep him out of it, unless we're going to use that honesty in a very deliberate way.
How are you going to keep him out of it for the next week? Are you just going to avoid Merrick altogether? This is the way to involve him without involving him. I'm giving you the answer you're asking for, Joel.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a good plan.
And I think you're wrong. That's our opinions.
I do want to say, if there's a way, I'm not going to force anybody's hand, but if there's a way to get Merrick involved, I would prefer to do that, just because I don't want him hanging out while y'all are doing all the cool fun stuff,
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get Merrick involved too. I just don't know that, like, the adding an abundance of something that we already are going to have access to isn't worth the risk of pulling him in. So like I would like to figure out a way to pull him in so that he can act honestly and he can work honestly towards a goal, and we can just use him to create a diversion or to just put him on a completely unrelated path. We can give him a fucking wild goose chase so he feels like he's part of it until that day he's out in the forest on the last step of his plan and we're in the fucking library and we did that intentionally to keep him safe or something like that, you know.
Now, I will also say there's like several more steps in the plan that he could also find a way to be involved in. Because right now we're still just sussing out the guard situation.
See, like I'm even thinking that like kind of like pulling Merrick along unknowingly throughout the week, and then the day of, then laying everything out for him so like he can work for the benefit of the group, but he just doesn't have any time to tell anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like all we do is we keep him in the dark until the day of the feast, and we pull him away from the feast, and he's like, why are we leaving the feast? And we say, okay, here's the deal. We're about to break into the library and steal the you know.
I love that, so I'm all on board for that if that's the way y'all want to go.
Because I want him, like, that's the thing, is I want him to be involved. I just don't want that whole week of exposure of him having conversations where he's going to feel obliged to tell people, oh yeah, we're going to go steal that book on Saturday or something, you know. So yeah, if we could do that, like involve Merrick in some small thing, like he can help Co with the fucking the blow dart even or whatever, and just keep him kind of like busy but in the dark. But then the day of, when we get to the feast, when we're leaving, we're going to bring him with us because we know we're going to need his skills and he's a valuable member of our group. But we just that'll limit his exposure. So he can have a freak out as much as he wants in the hallway on the way to the library. That's fine. If everybody's cool with that for our plan A with Merrick for right now.
I mean, and he wouldn't freak out. He just can't keep secrets is his problem.
Well, I mean, but it will be a lot of information that he'll be dealing with in a very short period of time.
Yeah, almost like an overload, you know? Like, we're doing what? What?
Well, I'm still going to cast Goofberry and try it out on one of you guys to see what it does.
Okay.
Sometime throughout the week.
That is the consolation prize. Okay, so I guess first order of business is Mert becoming friends with the guards. How are you going to do this? Are you going to charm them? Are you going to, what's your angle?
Well, I don't have any charm spells. Unlike other people.
I kind of meant charm not as a spell, but as in, how you charm people with your.
I'm just gonna find out how they like to party, you know.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna get them to try to smoke some weed with me, and I'm gonna ask them if they like to drink, and be like, hey, the night of that feast, you guys want me to smuggle you some drinks over, and just try to be must be boring being outside a library all day. Bet you'd like to spice up one of your shifts, right?
All right, give me a charisma check with advantage. All right.
Fucking. Oh, God, fucking hate my neighbor.
So over the course of the week, you do that. You chat them up, you hang out with them, you smoke your weed with them, and as you're getting the good foot in, right?
Sure.
Quick question.
Yes.
Are we going to have our token turn in before the night of the feast so we can get new items, or is it after?
Yes, that is the day of the feast.
So we might want to look at some of those and see what's available to us for that day.
Absolutely.
There is the tankard of double potency of drinks.
That could actually save us the trouble of having to get the saliva at all, because what if
That's
we took the strongest spirit we could possibly find and then made it double that and gave it to them?
that still seems a little less reliable than being frozen like a rock.
Yeah, that's true. That's,
As long as we know it's not fatal, I think it perfectly fits what we're looking at.
I don't think it's enough to make them like pass out with any sort of like timely manner. If you want to try it, you can.
What I was talking about the cockatrice stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, right, okay. All right. Speaking of, you go into your class on Monday, and by the way, Van Richten asks you all for your papers.
Yeah, we all turned in our. Yeah, we spent time writing them, right? So
Yes, except for Ko. I don't remember him ever declaring he was writing his papers.
Ko did not.
So, Van Richten does take a moment to sort of chide you and say, "Do you need more time to write your paper, my dear boy?"
Yes, I would appreciate any extra time you can give me.
Ah, I see. Well, it's due next Monday for you, and you know what? Since you have this extra time, it only makes it fitting that it should be increased to 3,000 words instead of 1,000 words. Don't you agree?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. And he claps you on the shoulder and takes the rest of your papers and lets you know that he'll have those graded and back to you next Monday. And then comes cockatrice dissection time. So what I'm going to need from everybody is a sleight of hand check to see if you nick yourself while you are dissecting this thing's tongue, because their beaks are razor sharp.
why are you an advantage, Mert?
Because I forgot to turn it off from the last time. Wait, I did it twice. Both of them were good, but you can take the first one.
Ko,
Or you can take whatever one you want.
Ko, you kind of nick yourself on the beak, and before you can say you are turned to stone in the middle of class.
Outstanding.
Close the statue, guys! Look! We can fuck with them if we want. Now's our chance.
He's gonna be hard as a rock for hours.
Now that you have the tongues out, you are all given vials to collect to turn into your potions teacher at your next potions class.
Ooh, we need to make extra.
Can we collect a little bit extra? Yeah.
Can we use Cole's vial since he's stone? Just use his extra vial?
Sure, go for it. Why not?
Do you want me to do a sleight of hand or something? Or like.
I mean, what happens if he really fails? Are they gonna not let him die out in the middle of nowhere for their country?
Impalement.
He'll be fine.
I would say you don't even need a sleight, because like he's obviously petrified, and if anyone sees you collecting with his vial, I'm sure that the professor would assume you're just being a good friend and getting his requirements taken care of while he's petrified.
So we can collect a few extra vials, maybe, or how many can we get extra?
Do you have any extra vials? Did you bring extra empty vials with you to class for some reason?
I would hope that we would bring, just in case you broke one, is if a teacher asks, just in case I break one, you know. I try not to be clumsy, but it could happen.
There are extra vials in the room, like in the school has them, but they have not been handed to you. You have each been given one.
Is there enough in the vials to like take a sample from it and use it without still be able to turn it in? So we can we can use it but still turn it in to the potions teacher? Is that after we do the heist?
Give me an investigation check since you're asking this question. So I need to be your character's brain, but I need to see how good your character's brain is.
My brain is kind of good.
Your brain thinks that if you all take a little extra in your vials, you'll have enough to skim off the top.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
guys,
got another plan
just
too.
fill up to the top.
Yeah, we'll fill them all to the top. Also, I'm going to be looking at, are there any pieces of glass around, any small pieces of glass that I could accidentally knock onto the ground to make a noise of glass breaking?
You all have ink pots on your desks.
Okay, I knock over the ink pot, and I say to the teacher, "Oh, my apologies. I broke my ink pot and my vial. Can I grab a new one of each?"
Give me a deception check. Yep. He says, "Oh, don't worry about it. It happens all the time." And he snaps his fingers, and a magical little sort of mop and broom come up and sort of start taking care of the ink and the broken glass. And he tells you where to go retrieve the stuff. It's right behind his desk.
I grab an extra vial and fill an extra vial. So with the skimming that we've done that we can do off the other ones, plus a whole full one, I try to fill the other one that I grabbed all the way up to the top too. So now I should have 2 full vials.
All right. So you've acquired your cockatrice poison. I believe Ko was to carve a dart gun or a blowgun and some darts.
I actually have some darts already. I just got to make the blowgun. I don't even know if that's something he can actually do. I looked up the weapon. It looks like monks can use them.
You would need to have a profession of some sort.
Yeah.
I am sure that you, with your, well, I don't want to give this to you because I don't want to steamroll you, and so I'm gonna make you figure out how you need to get a blowgun. Sorry.
I was going to say we could always talk to the quartermaster too. They supply us with weapons and stuff if we need them, right? What if I said I wanted to use a blow dart? Would he stop
Oh
me?
yeah, because we can use the tokens for things other than just what's in the wondrous items. It's
Yeah, we get a
any
shot.
martial item, right? And things like that.
Yep. Common to the magical that's on the list. You can get whatever you feel you need with your token. So which one of you is going to spend their token on a blowgun?
I will.
When you prepare the darts, Brandon, go ahead and give me another sleight of hand, but you have advantage on this because you're being careful. And you turned yourself to stone again the night before while you're doing that. Don't worry, they have potions on hand for that sort of thing.
It's like Ko likes to get stoned just as much as I do.
So you don't have the best track record for working with cockatrice poison, but that's okay. All right. Well, I believe you guys have everything you need to enact your guards plan. So someone needs to give me. I guess if does anybody want to like speak for the team, or I don't want to shoehorn anybody into a role, but Kelly, you spoke up earlier and you were laying out the plan. Do you want to be the dice roller? Is everybody okay with that, or does everybody want to roll one of their own dice, or how do y'all want to do this? Do y'all want me to roll them?
You should probably just do the total, and then somebody can roll it.
Yep, you got 4d6 to roll.
And what are we aiming for?
Well, you want if you get 2 6s, that's a crit. If you get a 6, you start with your plan working as intended. If you get a 3 or a 4, you are in a risky situation, and if you get a 1 through a 2, you are in a bad situation.
Can we just take like the highest of what we
Yes.
have rolled? And what do
Can
we
I
have right now? We have
apply-
4d6.
4d6.
Can I apply my halfling reroll ones to these?
Nope.
And this is for just the first stage?
Yes.
I mean, I'm okay with, if you're the DM, like, why don't you just roll it for us? Unless,
Okay.
unless somebody else has a problem with it.
I just, I know some people like to want to be in charge of their own dice, and so I was.
If we were on a table, it might be one thing, but on the internet, just go ahead and roll it.
All right, so 4 it is, which puts you in a somewhat risky position. So let's go ahead and pull our tokens out onto this page in front of the guards. It's Sunday night. It's happening now. Just imagine that's like stone hallway.
Actually, I'd be over here, like with the blow dart gun, just in case.
I would probably be along with the smooth talkers. Merrick would be with the party, and he would know everything that's going on at this point of the time.
It's true.
I like how we're like bouncing back and forth. So like right now in the story time, in the space time continuum, Merrick is fully aware of the plan.
Yep. Where's Mert?
Mert should be point.
Mert is dealing with the dog, but whatever you guys want to do, Mert.
Get out on the map, Mert.
Oh, I gotta pull myself out.
Haha, lewd.
Down here.
All right, with the 4 being your highest, when you hand the guards their drink, they were waiting for them because of what happened with Mert, and they spoke. One of them was already drinking a little bit in anticipation and fumbles his cup and spills it while the other one gulps his down. And he instantly turns to stone, but you still have that one guy left. So, hang on, wait. We're frozen right now because we're going to have to roll initiative because he just saw his friend turn to stone.
I would like to do a time reversal
Okay.
because I would like to, over the week that we had planning, I would have liked to have found out what if I did use the ring I had to make a gooseberry. What was the effect of that berry?
It makes people really fucking stupid.
So what I would have done is in the morning, I would have just made gooseberries because the hell of it, and given them to everybody. So everybody would have one gooseberry that they could have put with whatever. And then for my token, I would have turned the ring back in and got the Spear of Reversal as my item, which I was going to do before all this. So everyone has a gooseberry for the day that you can think of. You do what you will do with it throughout the day. Fast forward to now.
All right, does anybody want to implement their gooseberry before we roll initiative?
No,
You've had
thank you.
you've had all day to eat your gooseberry or use it in whatever manner.
I would like to say retroactively that we would hatch a plan to try to mix that in with the drink for the guards.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I had one, I would have taken a second. Like I would have just put it in there. Like,
Well,
just in case.
it doesn't matter because
Crush
he
it.
spilled the drink.
Wait, the guy that's messed up spilled his drink,
Yes.
and the other guy is already. How did he turn to stone? The other guy?
He drank it.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna have to shoot him with a blowgun. I mean, shouldn't Ko have like an advantage to initiative or something? Because he should be like waiting, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, he is the one who is already a little drunk in anticipation of this happening. But let me find a visual representation for him.
I think we should all be around this corner, right?
No, Mert, you know the guard. You're the one that gave the guard the drinks that disabled one of them.
Oh, so I'm over here like bantering with them and being like, holy shit, how did this guy just turn to stone like that? That's crazy.
All right,
You
everyone,
guys?
roll for initiative.
Where is initiative?
It's smack dab in the middle of the sheet between armor class and speed.
The core tab.
Prepare spells for the day?
You have to prepare spells.
Well, that's good to know.
As a level 1 wizard, you would have like 6 spells in your spell book, but you can only prepare so many of them a day. And you can change them out during a long rest.
I thought Zerades was a bard.
Nope. Wizard. So you have 2, it looks like, as a first level that you can prepare per day.
Well, I think that's a plus the int bonus.
Oh yeah, that's right. Plus your intelligence bonus.
So I have how many?
What's your intelligence bonus?
4.
So you have
No, wait. Where would it say this? What am I looking for?
Intelligence, the bonus.
2.
So you have a total of 4 spells that you can prepare for the day.
That's level 1 spells. Your cantrips you can use as many times as you want.
Yeah, I know cantrips. I just have not done spells before. The goal is to not hurt them, right?
Well, at
Yes.
least not kill them. You know.
Well,
Nothing permanent.
I can try to charm them on my turn.
I mean, you don't have to take a combat action. You can still try to use your turn to try to talk to or distract, or you can do whatever you want to try in your turn. We're just on initiative.
Yeah, I don't want a metagame, so I wasn't trying to say anything, but yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. We're not necessarily in combat.
Right. Well, that's the balance. I'm walking a fine line. Give me a second. I'm reading these so I can decide, and I'll let you know. Hang on.
You're good. D&D time. I don't think anybody's in a big hurry.
I've got 5 hours left, guys. Use it up.
Only 5 hours. We're in slow motion now, and he's looking over at his stoned friend, and then back at Zeradius, and then all of you, and then his spilled drink, and back at Zeradius. All right. He's just gonna take a straight roll.
Fuck.
Oh, it's a good thing he had disadvantage. So he's like, oh, and his eyes go wide, and he's looking up, and he's still like has a he seems worried, but he's also like somewhat distracted, fumbling to pick up the cup that he dropped. It's Merrick's turn.
retroactively and get a map of the library traps.
Well, I can detect magic.
But you're
It is-
with the guard.
It is now his turn, and he says, "Hey, can you get me another drink?" And he does take a little step back and turn back to go and pick up his cup.
I
Do we have more booze? Like, do we still have mugs of drink that we had in our hand?
You guys have some, sure.
So one of us. And speaking of which, I don't know if my initiative counted in the initiative turn order. I don't see me.
Oh,
But,
did you have your token selected? What did you get?
Oh, I didn't have it selected when I rolled, but I rolled an 18, so I'd go at the same time as fucking.
Okay, well, we're giving the guard preference, but it'll be your turn next. And he's taken. That was his turn. He's asking for another drink. He seems merry and cheery now.
I step up in between him and the petrified guard, and I give him my tankard of booze. Here you go, friend, just for you. And this one's just clean. It's just booze that I was drinking. He can have it.
All right, he takes it and he drinks happily.
Damn it, man.
And I'm kind of like pushing him in that direction, though, to the left. Friendly, you know what I'm saying? Like hand him a drink and kind of put my arm around him and walk that way with him and kind of like let him go with Merrick.
All right,
Yeah, go on.
Ko, it's your turn.
How do I know how much distance I cover? Because I'm just gonna move.
Your
I think
speed.
it was 6 squares, 30 feet.
I let everyone know there's automatons inside.
Flashback time. They do already know that, so it almost adds a little thing of humor to it when it unfolds like this. They're gonna
Yeah,
find
I
out
didn't know this.
in the next stage of planning. All right. I guess we're kind of out of initiative, but what are you doing with this guy?
Well, I was probably gonna try to think of some task for him to go do that gets him away from us.
Tell him to go take a nap. Go lay down in bed and try to fall asleep.
Yeah, I'll be like, dude, it's a feast. You deserve a day off. You've been working so hard. You should really stop giving into capitalist society and go take a load off. Take a break. You deserve it.
Because I think if you tell him to go lay down and take a nap, there's a chance that he does fall asleep, and that means that he'll just be asleep for a while. But even if he doesn't, he'll just lay there, not hurting himself.
Yeah, he that totally works. He totally does it. He
I still want to be friendly because, like, he does remember everything I tell him once he's not charmed anymore, so...
Sure. So it's not like you made him do anything like out of untoward. You're just like, hey, buddy, go. Here's a drink. Go. Why don't you go take a nap?
And he drank his drink and went and laid down and took a nappy nap.
Yep. All right. So he's out of here. So now we are back in the Thieves Guild, and you're looking down at the map. And he lets you know that the first obstacle you need your pass stone for is going to be this front door, and that only takes 1 pass stone. The innermost door that you will come to, that's going to require someone else's pass stone. He lets you know, Tully does, that he can help you out with his. So on that evening's feast, Tully comes and sits by you guys, acting a little rowdy and a little drunk. He shares a few drinks with you, and he starts going, oh, this fucking shit I carry around all day, and taking his belt and his bag and putting it on the table, and his weapon, and he slams this sort of palm-sized little stone on the dinner table next to you guys, and he gets
Whoever's
up.
near it.
Yeah, and he's being rowdy. Whoever wants to attempt to take it, I'm gonna need a sleight of hand check.
I mean, I don't want a metagame, but who's best? Who's the best one to do it?
Because if you remember the tables, you're all kind of sitting near and around and across from one each other. So it's up.
I'll fucking go for it. I'm having great luck tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Yep, you swiftly pocket the stone before anyone else is able to see, and as soon as you do it, he kind of looks at you and nods and grabs his stuff and picks his drink up and wanders away. Soon enough without it looking like he, suspicious or anything. So you've got one pass stone. You know you're gonna need a second. Well, sorta. Tully tells you in the planning session that he knows it takes two to take the seal off of the inner door. He doesn't know what what happens if there's not two pass stones, but he knows that the magic that it interacts with gets used up in whatever security measure is on it. So you may be able to deal with it with one pass stone, but you're probably going to want to get that second one.
All right, so we have both now.
No, that was the first one.
Wait, but we use Tully's.
Yes, that's Tully's. You have one.
Well, no, but the second one is the one he'd set down on the table.
Nope, that's when he gave you his.
Oh, I thought he gave us his back at the Thieves Guild.
No, he still needs it.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yep, he's giving it to you the night of right before.
All right, well, obviously we have to murder one of the teachers and take one of their gems.
That's the plan.
No, maybe not.
Yeah, so how are you all going to get another pass stone? You know that every member of the faculty has access to one.
The quartermaster seems pretty docile. We should try to campaign for him to give it to lend it to us.
And how would you go about doing that?
Blackmail?
That's a little harsh.
What is your blackmail idea? I just want to hear it. I'm curious.
I was thinking of some way of interacting with his Facebook and saying that you're going to post something very, very controversial unless he does what you ask him to do. Some way of hacking into his Facebook. Because if he gets caught posting something anti-government again, it's time for him.
We are savages, man. He's such a nice guy. And he's he's googly-eyed and...
He drinks chunky milk, okay? All right?
He drinks what?
Chunky milk.
Chunky milk. He does drink chunky milk. That's another reason why he's special.
I'm just saying it's an option. I'm not saying it's the
one.
right option.
Just because I don't know. I guess I volunteered him because he seems like he kind of takes shit and just moves on with life.
He was just kind of whatever.
Well, it's a good idea. Apparently, I keep trying to use it.
I don't think we need to scare him. I think we could come up with something nicer.
Try to pretend like we didn't. That we're not planning on physically assaulting a couple of guards too.
I don't think we need to physically assault anybody. We're not planning on doing that.
Do you think turning somebody to stone against their will is...
What if we just told Plinkett the truth?
I think it's just a nice little, hey, we're going to check you out for an hour.
Oh, I like the idea of telling Plinkett the truth. But we tell him a modified version of the truth. Just tell him we want to get into the restricted area to check out a certain book. What kind of book would he if there's something anti-government in the restricted area, we could find out, and then he'd be like, yeah, get the government, fuck them.
It's
You
probably
need
not
to give
even a
us a
lie, because
stone.
there probably is something in there.
Yeah, exactly. We could use the truth and work towards it. And we are getting into the restricted area, and maybe he could help us in another way if he's pro our plan. Who does he like the most? I know it's not me.
I think he likes Merrick the most.
Yeah, Merrick healed him.
Yeah, Merrick, you should go. Oh, then we got to tell Merrick about the plan early. We can't do that. So somebody else.
You don't have to tell him about the plan, because because you are planning to lie to Plinkett, so you can tell Merrick the lie as if it was the truth to tell Plinkett.
Yeah, we need your pass stone because. Oh, sorry, I don't want to. I feel like I'm part of the
that's
group.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, so
There,
you guys you're talking, and you're like, hey, we heard that they have this, anti-government propaganda book in a library. It sounds really interesting. We'd love to go check it out sometime. Plinkett might really enjoy it, and he's been having a really hard time. Merrick, you should go talk to him and see if he'll help us out and give us his ward stone, so we can take a look at that book and maybe help him out and make him feel better about his position in life.
And it's funny because then maybe possibly so Merrick gets this anti-government propaganda, or at least he's like, yeah, I have to get this stuff, and we explained to him part of the reason why is you have to be able to question people of authority and stuff like that. And Merrick, he's doing the visual math in his head, trying to figure out yeah, I have to question people, and so we inadvertently turn him into a skeptic because of him looking for it changes the way he thinks about the government. He's like, oh yeah, I can't trust the government, I have to think about that kind of stuff. And we're like, it's just a side quest, bro.
That's the plan.
All right, so I think that you just need to give me sort of a basic charisma check for when you're interacting with Plinkett, and let me know.
Maybe an advantage because he healed him before.
He does get an advantage. And also let me know what you say. I just need to know, what you actually say to Plinkett.
Hey Plinkett, I was talking with our friends, our really good friends in House 2, and we were talking about you and the hard times that you've had here at the Slayers Guild, and we really want to help you out. And we heard about this book that you might be interested in, and we really want to go and see if we can get it, to take a look at it and see if it might be something that could help you out. But I was told that to get it, we would need to have temporary access to one of your ward stones. And if you could lend us your ward stone so we could get it, that would be fantastic.
He kind of, calls you over and huddles up with you.
Oh, guys, charisma's my worst stat.
And did you give me the roll yet?
No, I was just looking at it.
You do have advantage. Go ahead and do that. He kind of hushedly calls you over as you say that. Oh yeah.
Oh, fucking God.
And he's like, "What do you know? What kind of book? What's it say in it?"
I'm not sure yet. That's why I need to get the book.
Don't let him hear you talking. All right. Look. Meet me with the book Monday morning before class, and he gets you his pass stone, and he's like, "Don't tell your friends. No one else can know about this. You saw what they did to me. Soon I'll have the answers I need." And then he smiles and looks at you with his sort of crooked eyes and pats you on the back.
Awesome. I'm guessing it was also during the time you were doing our token exchange earlier, so that's when I did all this.
Sure, yeah, that tracks perfectly. So you have 2 pass stones. That is great.
And an ally, possibly.
Back at the planning table, Tully points to either side of the room and says, once you're inside, a couple of the Artificer's automatons will be patrolling in there. Now, this is going to be kind of a tricky one because they are both set to engage first and then to alert the authorities once the threat has been dealt with. But if you don't engage both of them at the same time, then one of them will divert to the contacting the authority order. So these things are, they're made of metal. They're soulless. They're not the easiest things in the world, and the only thing that's going to be able to knock them out of commission with a snap is some sort of anti-magic field. How do you plan on getting past these automatons?
What's the only way to get them off their feet?
Anti-magic field.
Do we know from the guards, because they did say there were the automatons and like other traps in the library, are there anti-magic field traps in the library?
No.
Okay. There goes my idea. My idea was going to try to bring them onto one of the traps, but they don't exist. Anti-magic's like a fucking high-level spell, too.
What about just stealth?
You could attempt to just stealth it.
I can detect magic to see where the automatons are to maybe help you.
What if we walked on the ceiling?
Yeah, like spider walk or something.
Yeah, there's a ring of tarantula something in the magic checkout. Magic
Yeah, but they can
checkout.
still look up.
Tarantula bracelet.
What would stop
Can
the
they? That's
automatons
what I'm
from
asking.
looking up?
That's what I'm asking. If maybe they're programmed to only scan like eye level and below.
I would say that would give you advantage on stealth. They still
And
have
also,
to see you, but they're not.
Yeah, that's what the spell does. It grants you advantage on stealth checks because you're silent. Also.
who all needs to actually go in? I mean, maybe only if one person needs to go in, that one person can be the stealthiest among us. Use the ring of tarantula, get in, get the book, get out. If they can use, like, take the both stones in, and the rest of us can wait at the door and just be lookouts.
Tully looks at you and he says, I don't know what's waiting for just one person once you get past that main chamber.
What kind of senses from working with the automatons and going to our artificer class, what kind of senses do automatons have? Like, do they have a visible sight range, or is it like tremor sense, blind sense?
You basically know that they have blind sight, so they don't need eyes. They just have like a radius that they can see anything in. But beyond that radius, they the farther away from you they are, the the less they perceive. So after a certain distance, they're blind to anything not within their field.
Well, I can fly 100 feet a turn.
But how visual is that? Like you flying in would be good if both of the automatons are disabled. But and also we got to keep in mind too that we have to plan without Merrick, kind of like we like whatever his part is, we have to be able to explain it quickly in the time it takes to get from the feast to this room, kind of thing. So we can't make his two-part overly complicated, I think.
Is there a wild shape that Merrick take?
No, because we're only level 1.
Okay.
Like my gut tells me that Ko would be the best one to sneak in. Maybe the halfling. I don't know, depending on what kind of stealth she has. But like what they were saying, that might be difficult because there might be traps and stuff in the middle room that we're not aware of. That we might need more than one person. But I don't know. The other alternative is we have to deal with the automatons in some way that won't set off any alarms or anything like that. And they sound pretty formidable, so I'm not sure what we're supposed to do about that.
Tully lets you know that you have to Yeah, you'd have to engage them at the same time and keep them both occupied until defeated, if you wanted to get past them. But he says, I
Do they respond to fires?
I don't
Not
know.
based on the fire that I set on them. But I tested that out. No.
Yeah, they kind of just stood there and took it.
But that was a different context. They weren't like guarding the area like that.
I mean, it was still an automaton.
Yeah, and they basically work on like orders given. So if they were not specifically ordered to, deal with any fire that arises, I think they're probably pretty much told detain and call for help if any intruders come into the library. Tully's rubbing his chin and he says, I do have a third option that you could try, but it's somewhat risky.
Go on.
Well, due to the cockatrices being in the stables, there is a beam on top of the roof that is inscribed with anti-magic runes, but that's the only instance of an anti-magic field in the school that I am aware of. I don't know how you would use that or get that, but
Alright, I got it. So, all the stuff just happened with the guard. Marcus, you now tell Merrick about the anti-magic runes on the top, and he can fly up there and inscribe them.
On what?
They're on the ceiling, so he can fly out to the roof, right? Because they're outside, right?
well, they're inside the barn in the rafter.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought. So what? Now I'm confused.
Well, there's basically like a support beam going across the top of the barn, has magical runes inscribed on it that are basically make a 80-foot anti-magic field in a radius.
So Zeratius, being a wizard, can go there and inscribe that, and can maybe he put that on like 2 stabs, and we take the 2 stabs and put them in the room and walk forward with them to like block the automatons in corners.
No, that's not gonna work. You can't really.
How do you activate the runes?
It's basically they're sort of like a magical incantation that is placed on them after they are drawn. It's done by Professor Daffodil.
This is what. Oh, does it have to be Professor Daffodil that activates them?
Well, no, they're live. They're on the wood beam, and they just go until she removes them.
So during
What about blow darts?
Well, no. During the week, Zeratius goes and learns these runes, and during the week we can still come into the library off and on. It's just not the night of the feast, right? Like we can still do classes and stuff. So sometime during that week, Zeratius comes in here, puts some runes on the walls and in different places to prepare, and then when we get here, he can pass that incantation to activate those runes.
Is that how they work with incantations that turn them on?
It's such a high-level spell. I don't know that Zeratius would be able to handle doing that yet.
That was.
Because then, basically, if I say yes to this, then what's to keep you from just doing that at any time?
So do we gotta find a way to like take this beam? It's like an I-beam or something?
Yeah, it's a horizontal cross beam in the roof. It's not on the whole beam, it's like inscribed in the middle because it's a radial spell.
So Mert goes.
Is there anything we can
carves it out with
use?
some fire, and then brings it back here.
That's a beam. That's a pretty big thing to be carrying around.
I don't know. I keep making suggestions to the puzzle, and if none of them are gonna work, then fuck it. Why even tell me?
Well, don't get offended. We're just talking about it and trying to find different
that's what
strengths and weaknesses in different plan. That's the whole point.
That's what the stage is for.
Like it's a good idea to use that beam, and where I get stuck on is like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, but how are we going to get it around? And it's also going to be very like inconspicuous carrying around a big fucking beam everywhere. So I'm like, all right, what do we
Right.
do with it? How do we make that smaller, or how do we get that around?
That's why I said Mert just cuts out the piece of it. So if it's a incantation that's written the size of my hand, can you carve that piece out so that you can carry it around? But the other issue we run into is then that leaves the school open to attack in that entire area. So,
Yeah, Tully does chime in and he says, now, obviously, we would be able to amend that, but it would leave the animal handlers open to possibly being petrified. Again, not a worst case scenario, but not really the best if you have a bunch of cockatrices petrifying their handlers. But as the GM, I will tell you that the rune is about it's sort of like if you have a paperback book open, it would be about that sort of height and width, the area that they are placed on. Tully is somewhat interested in the idea of taking the rune, but he's having that same discussion with you. Like you couldn't just take the whole beam, right? You'd have to only take part of it, or maybe like a sliver or something.
You could do like a rubbing or something of it.
That wouldn't transfer the magic because they're kind of in place with the runes.
That would be good for a student to like take a rubbing and maybe put it in your book so that you can study it later, and maybe you'll learn how to write that spell at a higher level or something. As far as like,
you should do that anyway at some point, and maybe learn it when you're like level 18.
Yeah, then you'd already have
it in your book.
does the whole beam transfer? Because then in that case we could just like, we don't have to burn down the whole building. We can go there at night one night and chip off some like little twigs and carry them in a pouch. You know what I'm saying? How much of the beam do we need?
That was exactly my suggestion.
But I'm worried like, but if we cut off a little piece of the beam, is any of the magic going to transfer? Because if not, then how do we?
So not the part with the rune on it, but since the beam is what's enchanted, does some of it go with the beam? Okay.
Because then it turns into like I'm imagining a scenario where we light a fire or something like that, and we get that beam separated somehow, which is going to be very difficult in itself, unless magic doesn't burn, in which case we just burn down the whole thing and then the beam will be totally unwrecked in the wreckage. And if magic doesn't burn, can we even chip at it with normal logging tools? If it's embedded with this really high level magic, can we even split it apart even if we tried? And then like the act of splitting it apart, for a wood to do that much work on a piece of wood that's that big, you're going to need some pretty decent tools, and it's going to take some time. It's not something that you can just send in Mert, hey, get me that 4-inch by 6-inch area that's 3 inches deep at one point, and take it off quickly while fire brigades are running around and stuff like that. It's going to be very difficult. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, like if we can get pieces of it, sure, but my mind wonders, is that going to work? Is that going to transfer the magic from the original spell?
So think of it this way. Think of, okay, you have a week to test this out. So during this last week, Marcus, maybe you went and tried to chip off some of this wood, maybe like, a few splinters or something, not a big piece, just a small piece. And then you went somewhere away from the beam, and tried to get Mert to cast some magic on it to see if it actually nullified the magic or not. And that would verify your thesis on whether or not that's even possible, right?
Yeah, I could do that. I mean,
yep. You guys always remember you have a whole week to do stuff.
Part of me is asking, like, not only the group, but I would imagine it's partially asking the GM, like, how does magic work? And if my character doesn't know, I totally get that. But then can one of the other characters that does understand magic better understand how that works? Like, because I've already thought up a plan. If I wanted to get splinters from the cross beam in the barn, I know how to do that. It's just a matter of like, is that I ask my magical friends in the party, like,
sure,
would a magical item like that transfer in a tiny little smidgen of the piece?
What you are able to find out by midweek, let's say, is that no, it would have to be the runes have to be represented because that's what it's radiating from, right? It's not like imbued through the whole thing. These runes are on this thing, and that's where the magic is coming from.
Ooh, can we get the professor to maybe give us a small charm of that or something, maybe? Because
Can
if
you
we found out who put that original spell on there, we could go to them and ask them if we can have a small one to like
It was
keep
Daffodil.
night terrors away or something.
Can you think of a reason why you would need an anti-magic field?
Hog Cloud.
Yeah, Hog Cloud is. But I was thinking like, so we have a member of the team that is having, they're being visited by specters in their dreams at night, and they're convinced that an anti-magic field is what they need around them.
Me.
What if we just say that we're scared of Merrick, like summoning another hog cloud?
Look,
Or, you know, Zeradius is a tiefling.
But what if I went and said that I was having nightmares and other issues because of my missing week? Like, I couldn't go into detail because I don't remember things, but if I subconsciously was having some sort of issue where I felt the need to feel more protected to ask for it, maybe?
You know, all three of these I really like. You guys are just gonna have to figure out which one you're doing, because I could see every angle, especially like, because it wasn't
Okay,
even,
so
it wouldn't even have been a factor. But yes, Merrick does have that ring, and he's playing with magic. So there's
okay, so what about this? What if we went to a professor and we asked them for the anti-magic medallion for a couple of reasons? One, we're going to give it to our friend Zeradius because ever since he's been gone for a week, he's convinced that he has these spirits that are coming to him at night and blah, 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 blah. We don't know, but we'll let him sleep with it at night. But also, have you met the other people in our house? We have Merrick, which had Hog Cloud. Do I need to say more? And then we have Mert, which would burn down everybody in the entire academy just because it would look cool for a 5-minute period. So please give us that medallion just in case, to protect ourselves,
Sounds to me like you're the one talking to the professor, huh?
Well, there you go. If everybody's okay with that, I can put up that argument, and I can be fairly persuasive.
Go for it.
Would you like me to roll persuasion?
Yes.
Standard, no advantage.
I'm actually going to say you have advantage because you have absolutely valid reasons.
Woo! Thank goodness.
Yep. All right. Zeta Daffodil. She's a little hesitant because that's very potent magic, but she does give you the medallion. She makes you promise to only use it at night when everyone's sleeping, because that's when maybe you're defenseless, right? So if Mert gets up and starts playing with fire, you're not going to know about it till it's too late. Or if something bad and magical happens with Zeradius, asleep and defenseless. So only use it at night, and it only has one charge a day. So she doesn't want you using it to get up to any kind of trouble or anything.
All right, so we have one amulet of anti-magic.
How does it work? What's the range on it?
60 feet.
So will it disable the automaton, or will it like repulse them in a different direction?
It will completely disable them.
Oh, and that's what, 10 squares, 20 squares?
So is it like an EMP where they get in the field once and they're down and out, or do they have to be in it and once they're out of it, they will get back up?
Yes, they have to be in it. If they are somehow moved out of it, or if it moves out of their range, then they will be back up.
But that's how long it is. You see how big that is? 60 feet? That's most of the library.
Well, and that's 60 feet radius, right? So it'd be 60 feet both ways.
Yep. You could go ahead and draw like a circle, then make it 60 feet. and then you'd know
Well,
sort
here, I
of.
can give myself a 60-foot token aura.
So even if we send like 2 or 3 people into the main room, we can have just one of the amulet, and that'll keep them disabled if they get anywhere even fucking close to us. And as long as we go, let's say there's one on the left and one on the right, and as long as we move down the center, then ideally, even when they get disabled, they wouldn't have seen us anyway. So even if they turn back on, they won't know what went past them or anything.
If you go stand where the like a little bit past where the library person is normally,
Now,
you cover the whole
hey,
room.
Are you? That looks like more than 60 feet to me.
Nope, that's 60 feet diameter, buddy.
But we measured 60 feet, and it's only like that.
Yeah, one way. 60 feet right, 60 feet left.
So yeah, if you were in the middle of the room, 60 feet would be all the way down here.
No, I didn't say a 60-foot diameter. I said a 60-foot radius.
So 30.
So 30.
Yes, so you're half of that.
You have it reversed. You're saying it's a 60-foot diameter, right?
Yes, 60-foot diameter, 30-foot radius.
Yeah. Still, right here would be most of the library. Can you see my token aura?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, I don't know how to make it visible to them.
It's okay. We can use our ruler, and we get a good idea of looking at 30 feet. That's what I'm saying. If we are a party and we move up the center and we just don't like keep ourselves hugged right up against the bookcases, kind of thing, then they'll never actually see us, even if we just let them go.
Now, Tully does let you know that they kind of patrol up and down at an opposite cadence, so while one's going up, one's coming down.
What about the window? Like we
windows
saw
are
some
trapped.
guy come in through the window, and that was probably one of these Thieves Guild guys trying to get the same book.
We were told those weren't an option.
We were told windows weren't an option.
Yeah,
They're-
they've been locked and barred and...
Locked and heavily trapped. I mean, you're welcome to try if you want.
Nope.
I think we've got a pretty good plan for this with the anti-magic amulet.
Do
just
we need to
staying
be
in the
stealthy
center.
up until the point we administer the amulet?
I
We
love the
just
opinion that we
walk
should
in
be
there like holding it out like a Captain Planet or something.
No, I don't think we need to hold it out like that. I think it's kind of like radiation that it'll work whether or not we're like acting like jerks while we hold it. But I think like I'm of the opinion that we should still be as stealthy as possible. Like if we could go under an invisibility spell while we're doing this, that would be even better. Like for example, the only people going in there are people that we can trust to move stealthily and stuff like that.
Like, fuck, if I was level 3, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
If we had a cloak of invisibility, we could all hide underneath it too.
Where are you going to get one of those?
I have a +2 stealth, and we can get that
I mean, who
A
has
tarantula
their token?
the tarantula bracelet and
Yeah,
climb.
that doesn't carry all of us. It's only one of us.
I know, but that the person goes in and disables the bots, and then we all go in. We gotta watch for traps, though.
I don't think there's a way to disable the bots in there. That's what I'm thinking. Like we got to be able to move in and out, expecting the automaton to be there both ways.
They're going
We have
to...
to disable them. That's what we got the ring for.
The way it
amulet.
works is if they're in the anti-magic field, they aren't functional.
But as soon as we move out of the field, then they turn back on, right?
Yes.
Have we learned in our 2 classes about automatons? We learned what makes them, like, brings them to life, right? Like.
Yeah, it's they're
so
they're
can we take out that core while we have one disabled, so they don't come back up.
I don't think you know enough about it to be able to feel confident doing that. You know that they are powered by the magicite, that the artificer works with. So basically, they're like a core of that, and there's a spell on it. But like, can you just pull it out, and that ends the magic? You know what I mean? That you don't know really the particulars, but you do know that much that they are
When
powered by.
I've done detect magic on the automatons, because I have done that, does it show like a certain area that's like more magical than the rest?
Not really, because the magic kind of spreads out, and through the arms and the legs and.
Detect magic is blocked by 1 inch of common metal anyway.
So you detect magic around their elbows and their shoulders and their knees.
Okay, I think that's that idea. Geradius, what spells do you have available?
Charm person, comprehend languages, detect magic missile, protection from good and evil and good, and then shield. But I've only I was gonna have charm magic, detect person, or charm person, detect magic, protection from evil and good, and magic missile ready for today. So
Yeah, I don't think any of those will help. None of mine help in this situation either.
yep.
I have Entangle, Fairy Fire, Fog Cloud, Detect Magic. But I already used my Charm Person, and Detect Magic won't work, and they have Blind Sense, so Fog Cloud won't really work. I guess I could try to distract them by casting Fairy Fire on something.
Here's my idea. You just go in there and you be stealthy. We get the tarantula bracelet and spider climb up into the middle of the ceiling where the automatons are with the amulet, and then they're disabled, and then you just hang out in that area where they're both covered. And then so somebody takes the 2 pass stones up and they unlock the door.
Here's the problem.
So somebody just gotta stay.
The amulet range isn't going to cover them both unless you get, let's say one's on the left side of the library and the other one's on the right, pathing up and down. The amulet's isn't large enough, the zone isn't large enough to get both unless we get one of them to close the gap, basically.
We have to wait until they're like both in the middle, right?
Tully kind of nods at that, and he's like, "That seems plausible, right? They're going up and down at different intervals. They got to pass each other at some point."
Oh, they're going up and down each aisle? I thought like one was staying to the left and one was staying to the right. Yeah, they're going.
They're not on the far aisles, right? They're in the middle, like the middle aisles.
He doesn't know exactly where they are. He just knows that they, go up and down in opposite pattern.
Because yeah, if they do end up getting close enough to the center at the same time, then Mert's idea does work.
Well, there's always going to be some unknowns, lads. What's it going to be?
I'll tell you what, I've been in that other room, the restricted room. I've been in there. I was checking it out. There's a scary ghost lady, and she was trying to take me over, and like she was freaking me out and shit. But it's there's a whole nother section where it's like closed off, like super restricted in the restricted zone. What is your book in that section?
That's the one that's going to.
Well, that sucks.
To get in.
So what's the plan with that?
We'll figure that out
when we get there.
So we can get past these doors with the 2 pass stones. So I'm saying, like, I mean, I'll do it. I've always wanted to walk on a ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
and like, I'll hang out on the ceiling. I'll stealthy up into that section, and I'll have the amulet, and I'll wait for them both to come in. and then you guys just shuffle past and avoid traps, and open up that back door with the 2 pass stones, and then we go from there.
Is that going to be your plan?
Sounds like it's the one being presented.
Yep. Sounds
I'm,
like
so I'm saying, I don't know. You guys can like. I like it. I think it's pretty sound, but then again, I'm pretty high, and
I'm pretty high, and I just want to spider climb.
yeah, I'm excited about getting that bracelet.
So that is what you're gonna spend your token on.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of my badass umbrella.
So you got your anti-magic amulet. That's gonna be +1 die. You got your spider climb. That's gonna be another +1, which also gives you stealth. So this plan looks like you have 4 dice to roll to kick into gear, and we'll wait till Zeredius comes back to implement. Speak now, I guess, or forever hold your peace that this is the plan.
Can somebody walk me through the quick version again?
Yeah, Mert's gonna take the amulet that you got. He got the ring or amulet of spider climb. He's gonna climb up on the ceiling to like the center of the room. He's gonna wait for the 2 automatons to get close enough together during their path, or she. And then when they get close enough, activate the amulet to disable them, so the rest of us can go through.
Cool.
Does the amulet activate, or is it like always on?
I mean, once it's basically you command it to activate and you command it to turn off.
Just easy to do. I don't have to like attune to it or anything.
No, just a simple command word of your intention.
But keep in mind, the teacher said once a day.
Yes, once a day.
But lasts for how long?
It basically covers sleeping, so it would last 8 hours, or until you turn it, tell it to turn off.
Okay, we'll probably just keep it on, just so that we can have like the use of it or whatever. Although I don't does that mean I can't cast spells if I'm holding it?
It's a magic field, but also I'd say get close enough to the door in case there's any magic protecting the door.
Oh.
Would the spider ring not work?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Well, that's why you wait until you're in the center and then turn it on.
Because I thought about, remember I had that little beetle? I could have sent that thing in to get intel, but I was like, wait, no, I had a blowgun now. But anyway, like, he's magical, so he wouldn't have worked. So I was like, wait a minute, the spider ring wouldn't work.
Yep, that's true. So I'll probably fall from the ceiling.
Yep.
That's why I want to be in the middle, like I'll try to fall on that table, that middle table, or like the bookshelf even better.
Yeah, can you
because
like,
it's not as far.
A bookshelf, yeah. Like, is it high enough to where you
I'll
can
just
like,
land on the
reach down,
bookshelf.
you know?
Right, and just like try to land on my hands or like pull my feet down in time.
I mean, in a lot of libraries, the bookshelves go to the ceiling, so.
Even if I land on my face, I've already activated the thing, so it's not like it's gonna go bad at that point, you know?
How high are the ceilings here?
They're pretty high. I'd say maybe in the 30 to 40 foot range.
It's Mert, it's 1d6 after every 10 feet. So a 20-foot drop would be 1d6.
I might die. To how high are the bookshelves?
10 feet.
Okay, so it's 1d6 damage per.
You might just want to.
I think somebody needs to give me the featherfall. I think somebody just needs to give me the featherfall thing. Because I'm not going to get advantage on stealth checks unless I'm like using this.
It's an
Spider
anti-magic
climb.
field. Featherfall is gonna do nothing for you. And if you remember,
Oh yeah.
Tully chimes in and says, "Remember, if you you aren't going to be able to use any of your magics if you're wearing that thing when you get into the back room. For all I know, they could have an anti magic field back there."
An anti magic field?
I say you drop the amulet in the middle of the room once you have both of them in the trap and leave the amulet on, so it just keeps them turned off until we're ready to leave. Hell, I say you just leave it there even after we leave.
During the
What
weekend,
what if I
yes,
just
if that
throw
works.
it into the middle of the room? No wait, it's still like
Well, my question was, so during the week, can we test to make sure that the amulet works after activating it, even if somebody's not wearing it, or does somebody have to be wearing it?
Oh sure, yeah. You do that, and no, it's just from the amulet. You don't have to have it. It's not connected to your personage.
So yeah, we could just leave it there. Awesome.
Yeah, according to what I'm reading here as their path, if we dropped it on this table here, it will reach them at some point in their entire path all the way around.
That's not
So
their
if I have
That's
if I have the feather
that's what
fall,
Mark
all right, listen to this. If I have the feather fall thing, I can use that and fall from the ceiling onto the bookshelf, and then activate the amulet.
What if you're just like on the ceiling right above this book in the center, and you turn the amulet on and you just drop it in the center of the room? Drop it on that book.
No, I'm still gonna fall with it.
But do you?
Why would you? Oh, right.
Do you?
So what I'm saying is, I have both the bracelet and this. What's the feather fall thing? I don't know what it is. I can't gather that.
See,
Right now.
you're overcomplicating this because you're trying to use the spider climb thing. You can
No,
just walk in
because
that
what
front door and walk
complicates
in with the amulet turned on. Just turn on the amulet and walk in the door. Wherever they become within 30 feet of you, they just turn off, and then you just walk up to that book and set it down, and they're going to stay wherever they turned off.
What if they can see past the range of the thing, and then they detect me as a threat
So,
before
you're still
before it even
overcomplicating it, because you get the
affects
bonus
them.
to stealth from the amulet whether or not you're climbing on the ceiling, right? So just use the stealth bonus.
Is that
to go
true?
through the bookcases.
Read the description of the ring.
I mean, I gotta basically read the description of the spell.
I can just do it. Like my stealth is good.
But yeah, it makes my movement silent, so that gives me advantage on stealth checks. Is basically what happens.
For the duration, your movements are silent, granting you advantage on dexterity. And
I
they
kind
have
of wanted
command
to
sense,
climb
so-
on this. I can climb up the bookshelf or something and just sit on the bookshelf.
Just so you can say you climb something with your ring of spider climb.
I mean, that's.
I mean, you can
Is
just
it-
climb something and be waiting up there and be our lookout on the ceiling if you wanted to. I think that's not a bad idea. I like the idea of leaving somebody behind in a lot of these areas just to be the lookout to make sure that we're not getting ganged up on from behind.
Well, then climb up the bookshelf, because you're only going up, 10 feet, not the ceiling, because you're going to be 20, 30 feet exposed. Like, the bookshelf would give you a bit more coverage and prevent you from dying from fall damage.
Yeah, so like out front, whoever is waiting out front should be waiting out there. In the middle room, somebody should be waiting in here to keep a lookout, and then that would leave whoever's left over, three of us or whatever, to get to the middle door.
You probably leave Merrick out as the front lookout, because he could be the fastest to, if something is an emergency, he could fly through and quickly inform you all, since he can move up to that 100 feet.
Makes sense to me. And it's also like us telling him that we just have to get into the library and giving him the basic thing, like I was saying, that keeps the explanation simple. So
And Merrick's like, "Oh, make sure you get that book for the quarter for Tully or for Plinkett."
Yeah. All right. Well, somebody needs to concisely explain to me your plan so I can determine dice.
Well, we're doing it with Ko is the one with the amulet this time, I think. So Ko is gonna walk in stealthily and make his way to the center book with the amulet activated the entire time, and then he's going to drop the amulet on the book and wait until both automatons have walked into the book's path and are disabled, and then he's going to signal to all of us to come on in, and we're going to all sneak up to his point at the book and then sneak on in. But while we're doing that, Mrs. Spider Climb is going to climb to the top of the building and hang off or whatever the hell she feels like doing with her spider sense.
Okay, so she's going to play the lookout after this is initiated by staying on the ceiling. Is that what's going on?
Yep, or wherever she wants to hang from. But yeah, she's going to be the lookout looking over the library after we're all in.
Because yeah, when you're on the ceiling, there's I said they're 40 feet high. You have a a buffer between you and the anti-magic zone, so that way your ring still will be in action.
I imagine hanging from the ceiling for a long period of time would probably get a little bit annoying anyway, so I was figuring she'd probably hang out and like high up on a wall.
Well, that's for her to determine.
Yeah, that's up to you.
But what we have now is 4 die 6, so we're gonna roll and see how well this plan happens for you guys. A 5. Okay, that's in a controlled position. It's not perfect though. So I need to think of why it's not perfect.
If it's too hard to think of why, then it's probably because it's perfect.
No, I disagree with that. Oh, okay. I know why it's not perfect, but you don't know why it's not perfect yet. But we are going to say that that seems, for all intents and purposes, to have worked. Go ahead and take your new positions. I am going to show you where the automatons have stopped at.
Do I go anywhere? I did go pee for like 30 seconds, so maybe I missed that.
We're enacting the plan now, which is to drop the amulet in the center, and Mert is gonna stay on the ceiling as a lookout and spider climb.
Yeah, so you should probably be up with us, with Marcus and Co.
And I
Because
guess
we need one wizard type person to be with us when we're trying to get into the actual building. The center, I mean.
Google is there, but he's sleeping and he's snoring. It takes a lot to wake up a rock troll. Mert, put yourself in position like we're looking, upside down, where you are in the room.
Wait, I thought I was out like on the rooftops or something.
That's what I'm saying, Mert. Where in the room
No,
are you?
I thought you were
You're
in the
on
room on the ceiling.
In the room.
So move to your spot where you would be in relation to the ceiling. There you go. I didn't mean your token upside down, you stoned bastard.
No, it works.
No, that's fine.
No.
You know, it kind of shows that she's upside down.
I was saying, Mike, that was actually in character when I said I was stoned. I mean, I'm kind of high in real life, but
I need to be more so.
Not as high as my character.
All right, yeah, I guess everyone who's taking part in the next thing, go ahead and line up there. Zeradius, line up with the rest of them, and we're gonna figure out the next part of this plan after we take our break. Does that sound good to everyone?
Sure.
Sounds brilliant to me.
All right, we're gonna come back at. For me, it'll be 8:40, so 14 minutes.
Mic check.
Mert, Big Mert.
I just turned on this Gage's stream.
Nice. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Like everything I say comes back in like 10 seconds. It's pretty cool.
Oh, you should probably mute
I
that.
can't sub. I'm too cheap.
Back.
I'm gonna grab my drink. I'll be back in a second.
I should be right back. I gotta turn my AC on.
Okay.
Back. And I did say air conditioning because it's 78 degrees here in Vegas.
All right, are we still waiting on anybody? Everybody here? Guess not.
I'm here.
I heard, I know Kadris is here. I heard Kelly. Did someone else chime in at the same time?
Yeah.
Katie's here. So we just need a Tom and a Brandon.
I am here.
All right, we just need a Brandon.
Back.
All right, we are all here. You are gathered in front of the door. This one also requires just a single pass stone, which you have, so it's pretty easy to navigate. You use the pass stone. What do you do next?
I think it's a good idea for a mage to cast Detect Magic. Or traps or anything like that that you might have. Basically, this is where I'm going to be backing off. I don't
Not a
know.
mage. But I'll just have practice.
All right, go ahead and detect magic.
What do I have to do? What am I rolling?
Click the spell for me so I can give it a read. All right, there's no magic on this door. You get a vague sense of some more magic coming from beyond the walls, but you know, it kind of loses its power, you know, the more stuff it has to go through. But you detect no magic on the door.
Well, so you can also keep it active for 10 minutes and just has to make a spell save if you get something that interrupts your concentration, is the way that that works.
Okay. So on this door, for certain, no magic detected.
I relay this to my comrades.
I nod at Ko and motion my head to go in.
What do you do, Ko?
Takes a cautious step in and looks around at the ground first of all.
Wait. Doesn't Cole have the anti-magic amulet?
No,
Nope.
he left it on the table.
Oh, okay. Which means that I really can't like keep watch from there. I should probably be more like here, right?
Well, if you're on the ceiling, you have 10 feet before the radius of the anti-magic sphere is touching you. So you can be wherever you want.
Wait, it's only 10 feet, so I thought it was 30 feet.
The ceiling is 40 feet high. The radius is 30 feet, and thus you have 10 feet between you and the top of the magic radius, the anti-magic radius.
All right, I'll be right here then.
Ko, give me a perception check. Nothing out of the ordinary. You can't move through that door, buddy, because it's locked. You kind of bump your face into the door as you try to go through.
Oh, I thought the door opened with the stone.
That just took off the magic barrier. You guys didn't even consider normal locked doors. The first line of defense
is often the most effective.
Well, I don't have any lockpicks, nor am I proficient in lockpicking.
Now would be a good time for somebody to use a flashback.
A flashback? What do you mean?
In the rules I gave you, you can use a flashback to kind of Bill and Ted stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. That's why I've been saying go back in time and we talk about this and I prepared this way. So we are allowed during this heist to kind of say, oh, let me renege that action. So for instance, I took the reversal orb, but let's say something happened. I was like, you know what? Back in when that happened, I actually changed my mind and I handed the reversal orb back and instead I took the spider ring. You can do that in the situation, so we can plan for the current by making adjustments to the past.
All right, let's do a flashback and figure out who's going to pick this lock or how we're going to the key.
Is pick a lock sleight of hand?
Well, you can't do it with just nothing, right? You have to have...
I understand this. I'm just asking, is it a sleight of hand check?
Yeah, that's what I would use.
So during your conversation with Tolly, maybe it was brought up that, oh, you know, maybe you'll need this and you'll get some like Masterwork Thieves tools from him, or ask him on how to get some.
You know, it's a shame that he had to turn it in, but Marcus had taken that nitpicker thing.
He could take
Yep,
it
that would have been
again because
perfect.
he turned in his spider. Oh wait, no, Marcus. Sorry, I was thinking Kel.
Or you can
Wait,
just
could I just not turn in the item and turn it in tomorrow and pay a late fee or something? Wait, I'm trying to get into the guy that's working with us, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Merrick, tell him I need to hold on to it for an extra day for our mission.
I will do so.
All right. Well, I guess due to your fuckery, you do still have the nitpicker.
Yay,
Sorry, I'm
time
eating popcorn.
shenanigans.
Well, I'm going to use a nitpicker.
Let me pull up his description.
Jill, how does
I
Doctor
need to see it
Who
too.
refer to time travel?
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Yeah.
It's best if you don't even try to make sense of it. All right, where's that friggin' academy thing for the item list?
It's in your handouts.
Oh, right.
Now this might blow our cover because he can be heard from 150 feet away, criticizing us. Or I guess you guys. Like you guys huddled up at that door, he's gonna be like, you know why you suck?
Yeah, we're about to get roasted on the spot by the DM.
Are there any windows in the center room?
Yeah, you can see them on the side. They are kind of like boarded up, though. They're not really functional windows right now.
So you guys haven't even gotten past this door yet?
Nope.
Wasn't that the one that we needed the 2 pass stones for? But it's still locked.
Nope. That only needed 1 pass stone again. The innermost sanctum. So what exactly are you doing, Kelly?
Hold on, I'm looking something up to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, yeah, I don't know. So if it's able to be heard from 150 feet away, so that means it's like yelling at me.
Yes.
So if I cover it up like in my pocket and wrap it up, it'll still be loud, but it'll deafen the noise, I would hope, right?
I mean, you can take some actions if you want to try and muffle it or whatever. I also think that with your guard situation taken care of, 150 feet is probably okay. I don't know. Maybe you
Oh,
should roll
I got a
that.
better idea. So I'm going to use the nitpicker on the lock. And immediately, as soon as the lock is done and as soon as I hear it start to make noise, I'm going to immediately walk down to the book and set the nitpicker right down next to the book. So that the cancel magic spell will cancel it from talking. It'll become just a normal fucking piece of machinery.
Okay.
Ah.
All right. So you let me know when you deploy your nitpicker.
That's me doing it. Yeah, I'm going to use my nitpicker on the door, and then with the intention of immediately afterwards running and putting it down near the book, so that I can have both. Basically, I'm going to pick up both items and hold on to both together now.
All
He's
right.
gonna be so pissed.
As you hold him up to the lock, he's like, all right, keep your trousers on. Look at you. Think mighty highly of ourselves, don't we? He's tinkering away.
I want to hear his criticisms of all three of them.
He's like, oh, look at this one with the horns and the terrible haircut. Where'd you get that? I hope you got a bowl of soup with that haircut, honey.
Nope, but I got trauma.
Yeah, well, you look like you did. About the face. And this one over here could stand to put a shirt on. No one wants to see that. You look pale as they come. Also, there's something fishy about. I don't like the way you smell. You stink. He's looking at Ko.
He does kind of smell a little odd, doesn't he?
Oh, this one's real observant, huh? You look like you're dressed to go out to dancing at the ball. And look, what are you doing? You're breaking into a library. A little overdressed, if you ask me.
Technically, you're the one breaking in. I'm just holding on to you.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't.
Don't worry, I'll let go of you soon enough.
I can't wait.
Hey, that's what your mom said.
You want to do this instead? We could trade places.
Yeah, maybe next time, pal.
Yeah, let me work. Shut up. Shut your stupid face with your ponytail. Who even does a ponytail? It's.
See, obviously, you can't handle walking and talking at the same time because you can't work and talk at the same time. You should probably concentrate.
And the lock clicks open.
Okay, I as quickly as I can. Like as soon as I start to move in this direction, I should probably just turn off anyway. So
Yeah, as soon as you get about there, he's like, and then cuts out, goes lifeless.
I take both items and I put them in my pouch and zip it up, or tie it up.
What do you mean both items?
The medallion, the anti-magic medallion, and the nitpicker. Put them together.
Okay, you're still leaving it there?
No, they're in my pocket.
So you're gonna take the anti-magic field with you?
Then I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh, you're gonna stay right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you two? And then there were two, Ko and Zeradius. The door is unlocked.
Well, you're the magician. You go first.
Now, can I, if Marcus is kind of keeping watch over there, can I go forward?
Sure.
Can he see over this
Give me a perception check,
over this
Marcus.
thing? This bookshelf here that I'm above?
Are you on the bookshelf or are you still on the roof?
I'm still on the roof.
He doesn't see you.
The blood's starting to go to my head though, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go down and join these guys. I'm wondering if he can see like to the entrance, you know, and like keep watch.
All right. As you step in to the chamber, you see sort of like a back secretary shelf and a bunch of carts of books and special bookshelves and a locked door off to your right.
And my detect magic is detected nothing.
It's detected that door. There's all kinds of magic everywhere around behind that door. It's almost like deafening if to ascribe a sense to it. The amount.
But not the door itself.
Well, yeah, because the door does. That's the door that requires the double pass stones.
Good luck, guys.
So what else am I seeing in this room?
Pretty much what's there. It's a bunch of books. There's all kinds of papers sticking out next to them. Anyone who's looking, give me a perception check. Ko, you see that you can tell that this is sort of like almost like a staging area. Zeradius, you think the curtains are very pretty, but Ko, you see that there's slips of paper in every book that's out here, and it says to be sorted or contraband or maybe yes no. It's basically sort of like a semi-transitory filing state for books and some items even that are of a banned or dangerous nature is what's going on in here.
Okay. Well, let's fucking do this and get out of here.
Find the government book for what's his name.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the book is called, Zeradius. You're gonna have to grab this one.
I'm not doing everything. I can't remember either. So figure it out.
It's about bones.
Oh wait, you can't say that. You're not in there. They're in there.
You can say that. He had a conversation in a flashback.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, fair.
Ah.
All right,
So, you give both of you, I guess give me a it's gonna be easy. I just want to make sure nobody fumbles anything. Give me a sleight of hand check with advantage to see if you're raising your stones together at the same time.
Oh my God, Ko.
As long as it wasn't
a bad roll.
as long as it wasn't a critical, you're fine. I just
You're
wanted
the
to make
clumsiest monk in existence.
for real, dude.
Yeah, he is.
but
I don't know.
you
There's
dispel
a nat one there.
the magic, and the door is open. What do you do? Well, the magic.
What can I see?
What can you see? You see a closed door.
So it's unlocked.
It's unlocked.
Okay, open the door. You said the door was open. I thought it like swung open.
You're gonna want to detect the magics.
It's still happening.
It's almost everything in here is magic.
So the most prominent like school of magic, he would also know.
Necromancy.
The books are made of dead skin. Run away.
There is strong necromantic magic coming from within this room.
Okay, I let him know and I tell him the looking for the book of bones, whatever it's called. I would know, but I don't actually know because I'm a horrible person today.
Something in the art of bone, right?
Yes, bones. I wouldn't touch anything right away though. If you do find it, just let me know.
I'm getting very Army of Darkness vibes right now.
Ko, you are kind of drawn to this book on the pedestal in the center of the room.
I mean, that's gotta be it, right?
Zeradius, quit rolling with advantage.
I have advantage.
Yeah,
Do
she
you?
does,
On perception?
remember? Her class skill. Or her race skill.
Oh, that's right. Alright, so this book that's sitting on the pedestal, you notice that there are accents on the corners that look like they are sort of beautified and sculpted bone. But before you can do anything with that knowledge, the room, it's very weird looking. It looks like it's contracting and expanding at the same time, kind of how it looks in Battlestar Galactica when they do the jump, the warp jump. You know, it's like you get like bigger and the room gets smaller, but it also stretches. It's time and space is going real fucky.
Is it bigger on the inside?
It's kind of like it's bigger on the inside, but what happens is that column with that book on it splits into 3. And we'll just assume that they all look the same. So you have 3 books in front of you, and there is a plaque on the pedestal that says, "There is only one truth."
Fucking riddles, man. I'd say we take them all, but that's probably a poor choice.
And in my detecting magic, they're not different in any way, right?
Yep, they're all very powerful necromantic magic.
Well, what the hell do we do?
What would Ko do?
I was gonna make a joke about him being used to seeing 3 of something.
No, I mean...
See, what I try to do is just aim for the one in the middle.
That's not a bad idea. Alright. It's just, I don't know. Fucking, can I grab all of them?
Well, before you do, their eyes open up and they look at you. Well, I guess they're not really looking at you. You feel like you're being looked at, but it's just kind of green light that's pouring out of them. And the one on the left opens its mouth and says, "I am the book." The middle one chimes in and says that the one to the left of me is a fake and I am the real one. And then the third one opens its mouth to say, "The middle one is fake and I am the truly real one."
I'm actually going to agree with the one on the right.
What do you do?
I guess I take that book.
Oh, well, you try, but it's a mimic.
Fuck.
I'm gonna need you to give me a little roll for initiative there. Oh wait, hang on, let me clear it.
Control you. Or that. Or control you, sorry. Oops.
All right, I'm gonna add you manually. What was that? What did you have? 13?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'll let you on a bit.
Where's my? Zeradius.
This is bullshit. I didn't touch a book.
The rest of you guys, go ahead and give me initiative rolls too, just in case you have to come join the fray.
What were you asking? I'm sorry.
I need an initiative roll from everybody, just because we're on initiative time, so if anybody needs to move or do anything. Remember, you have to have your token selected. So I'm going to add you manually, Mert.
Oh, I wanted to reroll.
Nope.
My token selected now. I can reroll and make it easier
No,
for
you
me.
can't.
Can I change my place before the...
Nope.
I'm sorry. Where am I anyway?
I thought you were on the bookcase right in front of the door.
I'll be back.
Did you take my token away? You disappeared me?
Oh, where the fuck did you?
Yeah, where'd you do with your token?
Is Marcus on top of me?
Nope.
You must have accidentally hit delete, bro.
Sorry, just pull yourself back up.
Well, Merrick, you're first, but you're just hanging out outside. So,
Yep.
same thing with Marcus. Zeradius is at the top. A mimic is bearing down on.
Hey, just to let you know, Kate, the only thing I'm going to do with my turn is I'm detaching the pouch from my belt, but I'm holding it in my hand. So at any point, I can get rid of both the medallion and the nitpick.
Okay.
I'm done. Go ahead. Everybody else do your shit. Fight a book. Look at you, fighting education.
That's right.
And what are you, a Kentucky school board?
Book burning Nazi.
A nasty book is attacking Co. Zeradius. What do you do?
Wait, attacking how?
It's like he went to pick it up, and it showed its form, and it's lunging at him.
So it has legs?
No, it flies and floats and does whatever it needs to do. Like a magic angry book with teeth and eyes would do.
Oh, Alfie.
A magic missile it.
Alright, let's get those damage rolls. I guess I should do the save.
Oh yeah, there's no save or anything, right? So
Yeah, I guess not, huh? Didn't we say that? Didn't we read that this one just
Oh, spell save DC 12. What is it, for half damage or something?
is that an attack roll, basically?
No, they always hit. Magic missile always hits 100% of the time.
So I don't even know why there is a save associated with it. So that would be 4, 5, 8. 8 damage total.
12.
Is it? Is it 4?
Yeah, 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 3 is 12.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you, because my math is terrible.
It's all good.
Oh, you know what? By the way,
That didn't sound good. By the way, what? Oh, music.
all right, it is Ko's turn.
There's always something in this fucking place. Alright, I'm going to attack.
How are you attacking?
Fuck, I don't know. Overhead strike. A lot of torque.
That hits. Nope, you click the name underneath it, and that'll roll your damage.
Oh, that was my second swing.
Oh, okay. Click the name so we can get your damages. It's 12. Alright, it is now the Mimic's turn. Let's see, what do I want to do? It's a 16 hit.
I think. Yes, it does.
All right, give me a dexterity check.
Oh, check. I did.
No,
Yeah.
not a. Oh no, yeah. I guess it would be a save. You just gave me straight dexterity.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it tries to kind of pin you down as it clamps onto your leg, fluttering around like a bat, but it does manage to do 3 points of damage to you. Chomps down on your leg. Everyone that's in the library, give me a perception check. Marcus, you heard it.
Where is Mert's token still? Oh, I thought you were watching the back door, Mert.
I think
It
he's
doesn't matter.
away for a second. So we'll get him in. But yeah, so you heard Ko yell out in pain. And
Alright,
now,
I'm gonna try. Well, yeah, it's not my turn anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna move next time I have a turn.
we're back to Merrick, who is still, I would imagine, kind of clueless. Just hanging out. Has no reason to think anything is going wrong. now it is your turn, Marcus.
Alright, I'm gonna move in that direction, but not too far. That's about it. I'm gonna stay here with the amulet for right now.
Alright, it is Zeradius' turn. What you doing, Zeradius? Katie, oh, there you are. Alright, so you're banking it for the next one. We are back to Ko. Oh, you're not moving or anything, I take it before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't she get another action?
I don't think she gets another action, but she gets a movement.
Right, so...
Oh, that's, yeah, I'm an idiot. I got you.
You should actually take a 5-foot step back and then cast 2 Strike, because otherwise you're going to take an attack of opportunity.
Why?
Well, if they have that, because if you cast, anytime you cast a spell in melee, or you use the range in melee, you take an attack of opportunity.
Ah, that is a good thing to know. See, that's something I had no clue about. Thank you for that.
Now, I do think the creature has to have it as a skill, but most monsters do.
Mert, you, all you see is Marcus take a couple of steps towards the back door. Nothing.
Towards the entrance to the...
Well, actually, like, what she would see is me hurriedly going around this bookcase.
Yeah, but you don't think any of it. You don't perceive that to be any sort of,
Yeah. Oh, true, because the percent. Sorry, I'm not trying to, like, talk over the rules.
Ko. This thing's biting your leg, bro.
And I'm using my staff and trying to, like, spear it off of my leg.
Alright. Just one attack? Oh, 2. Alright, well that first hit definitely connects, and I'm gonna say that you you kinda deftly sling it off your leg and across the room.
So yeah, it's taken 24 points so far.
So you kinda fling it off that way. Why do you keep hitting that?
Ah,
What are you doing?
I don't know. Are they both showing?
All 4 of them are showing.
Yeah, you attacked twice and did 4 points of 4 different damage rolls.
I'm taking the first one because only your first attack hit. But,
Oh,
good
I
news,
gotcha.
it's doubled because you critted that fucker.
So it's 24 plus 12. That thing's taking 36 points of damage.
That was an excellent hit. Alright, it is.
Damage, guys. This thing might be too much for us.
It flies directly at you since you just attacked it, Ko.
Grab the other books and run.
I'm pretty sure that's a hit.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit. I'm probably gonna die.
It's not a critical though. It was a 19, so
It does 10 points of damage as it clomps down onto your face with its acid bite.
That'll be a blood-curdling scream to summon the buddies.
I don't think so, because he's kind of yelling into a book that's closed around his face.
Uh,
But yeah, yeah, it's pretty muffled. You are now unconscious with a book clumped down on your face.
this is not good.
It's Mert's turn, but Mert doesn't see anything out of the ordinary.
But can I just ask Marcus what's going on, buddy?
Sure.
can I respond?
Marcus,
Yeah.
what's going on, buddy?
I heard somebody call out in pain from the back room, but I don't want to leave the medallion. I don't want to leave it, and I don't want to take it.
Well, I'll hang out here and watch the medallion and stuff.
But I think they may need it.
Merrick, what
We
is-
don't want to activate these guys unless we're all gone. Do we know that if they have like a sensor on the back door or anything?
The back door leads to Van Richten's chambers.
Wait, are we talking about a different back door?
Yeah, what back door are you talking about?
The one that that they're inside?
Oh, and what was your question?
Do the automatons have a sensor on that? On those doors? Like, would they know if it's been breached?
You have no way of knowing that.
We could have found out retrospectively.
I don't know, because that would mean that we're asking around about the defenses a little too much.
Hmm.
Might not be a smart idea.
Maybe Tully would know or something.
No,
I
Tully
assume
had,
that Tully would tell us if he knew.
yeah, Tully had no information for you past once you take the seal off of that last door.
Well, that was before that, you know? Like, do the automatons know that the seals are gonna be taken off? Would he know that?
Nope.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of is to get this medallion in that room around the mimics.
Hmm.
But to get this medallion out, and this, I feel like I'm metagaming right now. I probably shouldn't say that much because we can't talk about this stuff because we're all separated.
Do you want me to throw it to you right now and you run it in there? Or we should both go in there.
But if we do, then the automatons move. That's the snafu that we're stuck in. Our friend is dying, and an anti-magic medallion might save him, or at least get him out of there. But if we do that, then the automatons are going to be in full movement mode again.
Well,
They
weren't you
will they be coming back and checking this room and this door? Can we just close the door and kind of pretend like everything's normal? Once we all get in there?
Well, I've kind of made up my mind.
Merrick is
I'm gonna
outside.
I'm going to go that way anyway, so I'm going to motion to Merc to follow me anyway.
But I don't. If you're taking the medallion with you, I don't want to be in there with those fucking automatons, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You better start moving.
Okay, I'm grabbing it. Grab it.
No, I already have it. I have the medallion.
Oh, I thought that you left it on the table.
So you're on.
Oh.
Are you on? No, you came down.
Merrick, what are you doing? You're just still hanging out? You're
I didn't notice anything. I wouldn't notice. So I'm still
Well, I'm coming with you, dude.
hanging out.
all right. Marcus, it's your turn.
That's 6.
Do I have 29? What
Oh,
does that
and
mean?
just to give you an idea, this is
No, stop.
so. These squares now have negated magic.
All right.
So So I don't know what that means for what's going on for them in the room with the book, but my negate magic's aura should be encompassing them.
All right. Well, you have disabled anyone from being able to do any magic. The book is still chomping down on Brandon's face, but it's starting to sort of it can't fly, but it's kind of waddling its way over to Zeradius. And by the way, Zeradius, it's your turn.
So, did I get any insights on its defenses last time? Because I've never.
Oh yeah, I mean you have the insight now that for some reason it seems to have lost its ability to fly, and it's heading towards you. You certainly have that advantage on any attacks, but you are also in an anti-magic field right now, I believe.
Correct. So you can't use any magic right now.
Kind of not ideal.
I know I'm not trying to. I'm just saying I didn't gain. It has no defenses. I learned nothing when I cast that spell.
Yeah. You learn that it's not able to fly right now, and thus you can use that to your advantage, and you'll have advantage on your attack roll.
Fine, but I feel like that's cheating.
Not really. Basically that's just flavor text for you have advantage on your next attack roll.
Yeah, the end result is you're going to have advantage either way. Kaith is just adding that what you figured out was the obvious thing that we're all seeing. It's not like a detriment against your character, I don't think.
All right, that is a hit. Roll damage.
What is my damage for that?
Click the name of the weapon in the thing you just rolled. In the chat. Where it says quarterstaff, click quarterstaff. DC. Katie. There you go. You hit it with your staff and it goes, "Wah!" And it kind of keels over and sort of life comes out of its pages. And it is dead. Brandon, give me a death save. We're out of initiative now, by the way.
Well, that's up to what you want to... I feel it's my duty to inform you that I am beyond 30 feet away from all the automatons now, so they are going to be moving again.
My death save
Holy
was
shit,
great.
Brandon. I thought you were having good rolls today, buddy. What's up?
I was with my attacking. Everything else has been shit.
Wait, death save? What happens there? Does that mean you're dead?
He's got 2 more.
If he fails 3 times before he makes 3 successes, then he dies.
Is a critical fail a certain significance?
It's not a good thing.
It's just it's a fail. It's a regular fail. It says if you rolled up below 10. Because if you roll a 20, you come back to life with 1 HP.
Oh, so I have to continue to do this.
Don't stop rolling. I didn't tell you to roll again. I don't know.
You
why
can just
did
roll
that.
1 and you get a fail, and then the next time it's your turn, you have to roll again.
You can completely negate that one. It's fine.
I will, because I think technically, since you got that critical fail, it counts as 2.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Ouch, bro. Ouch.
But the good thing is we're not in initiative anymore, so you guys are free to get moving. Mert, you might want to consider that you have active automatons coming to life right around you.
I can come back out there, but I'm afraid that if I do, then those books are going to come back to life, kind of thing.
I mean, she killed the mimic.
One mimic. What if there are more? Like, what if the one on the left is a mimic too?
No, actually, when you were in the when you got in the radius, that other book disappeared. That one was an illusion.
What's the name of the book on the pedestal? I'm calling out to them in the room.
Well, one of them can hear you. The other one, I don't know if they're listening.
Yeah, it's a bone book, dude.
Yeah, we haven't even looked. It's open, right? The book is open.
Yes.
Yeah, I close the book and look at the title. Tell him what it is.
It says a treatise of bone arts on bone arts.
Well, Ko is just there next to you all, bleeding to death.
Hey, I told him not to touch anything. That's on him.
You might want to stabilize him before I make him roll his next death save.
Well, yeah, technically we probably should have stayed in initiative order just to get through that part.
Yeah, like you're saying that there's free movement, but I don't want to actually move because I feel like if I move, then I'm making time go forward. So I'm just waiting now for somebody else to do something.
Well, whose fucking turn is it, yo?
It's everybody's turn. Brandon, give me that death save, since everybody's just going to stand around while you're laying there dying.
I don't even. How would I even help him? I have nothing to help him. I can attempt it.
You would attempt to make a skill check.
I am closing that door behind me and Marcus.
No, don't close the door.
You should also have a potion from your potions class you can give him.
But look at that.
I'm leaving it ajar, just barely.
That's not it. I did the thing.
Yeah, look at that. Double 20s. Holy shit.
What the fuck? Alright, he opens his eyes and he has 1 hit point with whatever the fuck you did. What did you do? Describe what you did. How did
Don't
you
worry about it. It's a secret.
Nope, I want to know how you medicined him back to life. What did you do?
I said medicine and smack him in the head.
I guess that was enough for him. You hit him in the...
try that myself, just screaming medicine and smacking somebody.
you did hit him in the exact right spot to bring him back to consciousness, but he is supremely fucked up.
No, I say, next time I say don't touch anything, and slap him across the face. That's what he woke up to.
I take 1 point of damage.
And fall back in, make a death save.
No, that's how I medicined you.
God damn it. I clicked back and fucked everything up.
But I need Zeradius, I need you to give me a perception check. Why did you roll that one with advantage?
I have advantage.
On what? How? Perception?
My object is wisdom.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to take a note of this, or I'm gonna start deducting GM points.
Wait, you have advantage on every wisdom roll?
Yes.
That doesn't sound right, but okay.
I'm not going to take that away from you, but I want to see where you have that, just to make sure we're not abusing something.
Unless I misread the True Heart class thing, it says wisdom rolls. Unless it is just a wisdom roll, then that's dumb.
Well, having advantage on everything that has to do with wisdom seems broken, is why I'm saying that.
I just want to investigate. What gives you this feature?
My object that I got from the object place, I don't remember.
Oh, your token exchange.
Yes.
Ooh, what was that?
True Heart class.
Oh, I keep thinking you're saying True Heart class. And I was like, oh, is it like I thought you were some kind of wizard. Is that some True Heart class?
Well, it looks like you picked the appropriate trinket to have this week.
Yeah, advantage on wisdom insight checks. So yeah, it would be pretty much anything wisdom based that you're trying to figure out your surroundings. Yeah.
No, it would be insight checks that are based off of wisdom.
Oh, he's right if
Insight is
that's
an
the way it's worded.
actual skill. So it's
Yeah.
only
Oh, I
the
see it now.
insight skill. Like when I wrote the paper and you had me roll insight.
Yep.
Well, okay, so then could it be argued, DM, that whenever you're calling for perception, she could say, "Could I use insight instead?" And then,
I actually just heard that on the Adventure Zone podcast that I listened to. So, I mean, I would say that you have to declare it if that's what you want to use going forward. But there is an argument to be made that if you're specifically trying to perceive something in that way, that yes, you could say, I would like to do a insight check. But it would have to be something declared. Like I said, because this is more of a GM thing that I should have been more aware of what her trinket does. So I'm not going to take that away. But
that way you don't have to retcon it too, because from a rules perspective, it would still end up functionally being the same, yeah, I would think. So none of her roles would have been differently if they just would have had a different name on them. So
if I would have said it applies, but for you do I'm giving you that one. That's a freebie.
but from now on, make sure you say, "Can I use insight for that?" Cool.
Give me just a second to handle something.
Yeah, I don't hear any music all of a sudden, but it says that it's playing.
I hear it.
I turned it down while we were discussing.
Yeah, okay. And I had it turned down on my end a little bit, so that's cool.
So think of like insight is kind of like your gut feeling for things. Like you just have this natural gut feeling and intuition. Whereas perception is what you're actually like able to see and like having a good sight line at something.
Right. So if you can make a compelling argument for why it should be an insight roll, you know,
In the future.
I'm open to it. All right, and Ko is back conscious. You guys have the book. How are you getting out of here?
Slowly and wobbly. Probably with a couple points deducted from my charisma.
Yeah, you have acid burns on your face now.
Like all over you.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Like what happened to Cedra, but all over your face.
It should be in like cool pattern, like because it's like teeth, you know, from a book. So it's like just lines going down like his face, like with his eyeballs.
But we don't know the status of magic. You might be able to get that healed. So what are we at? What are we doing right now?
I don't know. That's how are y'all leaving this situation? You still got automatons out there.
Yeah, so we gotta group up
Some-
with
The two of you
anti-magic
grab Cole.
thing.
Here, Mert, take this, and I hand her the bag with the nitpicker and the medallion.
Cool. I have
Stay,
the power.
stay right here, right next to the door where I'm standing, and wait for me.
You got it.
I'm gonna pick my arm around Ko and pick him up and help him walk out. I mean, is he ambulatory at all, or is he completely unconscious, or what's going on with him?
No, he's conscious. He has one hit point, but he's it's like in the war movies when the guy has one good foot to put on the ground and.
Yep, that's why. So I'm gonna help him best I can. We're gonna be walking out of here. Let's go. Grab the book and let's go.
Zeratius has the book.
No, I didn't grab it. I went to fix our dying friend.
Yeah, that was a good call. But let's get him out of here and let's grab the book.
We should try to like reset stuff maybe like get rid of those 2 dead books.
Well, I don't know how we're gonna get the. I think we just need to leave.
Or
As-
put one of the dead books in place of the old book.
As you're walking out, a painting on the back wall starts to move and chimes up and says, "You! Hey, you're not supposed to be here."
Wait, a painting where?
Right there.
Where?
On the wall. The circle lady.
To your right.
Oh,
What are you even doing in here? I've never seen you before in my life.
my name is John. We have to leave.
John, I'm going to tell the headmaster about everything I saw today. I'm going to describe the delinquency which I have seen in this room. There will be no safe quarter. Just you wait.
You guys
Mert,
are getting bad.
Mert, let me see that amulet for a second. Let me see the pouch.
I give it to him.
Did she shut up now?
Yeah.
All right, I take my dagger and I slice the painting right down the center.
Okay. Well, all the paint starts like leaking out as if it were blood.
It's fine.
Kill that bitch!
I wipe the dagger on the rug right to my left.
That's kind of fucked up, but okay. Yep, that's what happened.
Only
All right,
casualties
we're
were a painting and some books.
And as I'm passing Zeradius, I look at him and say, "Grab the fucking book. Let's go."
Try to reset it. Put the other book in the place, though. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll be like waiting right here to close the door behind Zeradius as soon as he comes with the book.
Oh my, grab the book and walk out.
Okay, do it.
Close the door behind him.
I'd say you don't have to go through the motions of going out here. If your plan is to walk through with the medallion and get out, we can do that. You don't really have any obstacles in your way.
Cool. And that's what we do.
Did you get Plinkett's book?
Co bursts through the door. What's up, Merrick? Like,
Did
no.
you get what about Plinkett's book?
Yeah, we got the book. Fine.
Marcus?
You said
Sorry,
we
Dana
need to
just got
act
here. I signed
now.
that. What's going on? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just moved my token to the thing. I didn't
Yeah, you
mean
said
for
Yeah,
it
we
to
need
be-
to.
We're saying that you've no obstacles, so you've made it
Yeah.
safely.
I thought you were just saying I didn't need to move it on.
And you were triumphant. Only one of you died.
Well, one of them died too.
Well, yeah.
I'm not sure what the whole idea with the painting was, but in my logic was like, we don't have time for this right now.
I love it because the only other option was what? You take it with you,
Screaming the whole, or like with the amulet, it would have shut up while we were going, but as soon as we get wherever we're going, it would have started talking again. Like, no.
I was mentally prepared in case you took the take it option to have to voice a new companion for your dorm room. But no, you just
NPC hostage.
Yeah.
Hostage painting. As soon as I get out of here, I'm telling you, you'll be in so much trouble.
I'm melting. Bang! Fuck! I'm dead.
Good job, you guys.
We did it.
I'm so proud of you.
So, Zeradius, you want to read this book?
Yeah, let's see what all the fuss is about, yo.
Do you open it?
No, we should not open it at least not in our dorm rooms or anything like that.
Can we take it back to the dude and get that sweet, sweet money?
And it was open on the pedestal anyways, right? On the lectern it was on or whatever.
Yeah, but you know, it was open, so you know, maybe you think that if you open it, nothing bad's gonna happen. But it was open when it was sitting there.
So unless the
I think if you go to like, maybe if you go to like a random page, it'll do something unexpectedly bad. Like it could have been set to the page where it summons 2 duplicates that will fight if you choose wrong.
Now,
well, I don't know anything about that stuff, so I'm going to leave that to those of you that deal with spells and trinkets.
keep in mind that the next wagons that go into town for students to use aren't going to be there until next Sunday.
So we've got to hold on to it or find somewhere to put it for a week.
Well, you also have Tully.
You also have a Merrick that can fly.
That's true.
You can fly what?
God, your bird man is so broken.
I know, I love it.
What do we need to fly right now? We're flying something somewhere?
The book to the guild master.
But that is a tale for another day, because that's the ending of this is actually all I had ready for tonight. Y'all actually did a little bit better than I was expecting, and I like the options that you chose.
Ended up being a pretty cool story. I like the mechanic of passing back and forth in time.
Yeah, see, I thought that would be cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Did everybody else kind of like that? I thought it was kind of unique.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's kind of like, you know, you can only get so cinematic with a tabletop, but it's kind of like in the heist movie where they show it going down while they're planning it, you know? You guys Ocean 11'd it.
Yeah, it's cool. I got to walk on the ceiling. Fucking awesome.
What a
I like
feeling.
I like how Mert was just wanted to spider walk so bad that they were considering I'll just do it and I'll just fall and take the hit.
Yeah, they could have killed me, but you know, also could have been really cool. If I would have kept my Umbra staff, I could have done the Featherfall thing. But I guess couldn't have both unless I convinced someone to switch weapons with me.
Katie, did you see that message that I sent you?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, just making sure. But yeah, so that's all I have for you guys tonight. That was pretty cool to see you take the bait and put things into action. Do you want me to let you know what you missed or what other options you had that you didn't take?
I'm debating on if Merrick would, once you guys came out and didn't have the book for Plinkett, if Merrick would try to fly in and just grab a bunch of the books off the desk there. I think he might try to do that.
You'd have to try, I guess, and be stealthy.
Well, he could just fly 100 feet because a move and a move.
Well, that is totally up to you.
Yeah, he's gonna try it. So I fly to here. Try to get, like, just grab a bunch of the books off of the table.
Give me a stealth roll with advantage. Actually, technically, hang on, let me get my ruler out.
We'll go from where the door would be.
Yeah. Okay, so they are already back moving, and they're out of the anti-magic field until they get down to the end here. I'm gonna say one of them is on patrol because this one has come. The one on the left has come down into the field and deactivated again. So give me stealth with advantage. All right, that did it. You're good.
And then I go back.
I'm just gonna let that stealth thing count for that too, because I don't want you to ruin the whole
Right.
the whole success of the thing.
Well, if I failed, I had my backup plan was that time warp I got earlier. That lets me basically redo a turn.
Oh, right. You guys actually got way more creative with the runes than I was expecting, because the way I had set it up would be to, you go and like at night try and shave off, cut off a chunk of it that has the runes in it and take it with you. But the idea of asking for anti-magic field amulet for the 3 reasons that you had, I thought that was primo. So everybody will have a point of inspiration at the top of the next session.
Woohoo!
Party!
Except for Ko. He's strongly considering suicide.
Well,
I don't think you need to, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
did a good job
the
by
true
himself.
hero, man. You're the true hero of the fucking day. You're the only one that was in
So-
like jeopardy besides Zeradius, but
Look,
Maybe that's his inspiration. He's inspired to,
y'all had me so nervous because by the time when Ko went down after that incredible strike, the book had 2 hit points. And then Marcus is running up there moving the medallion. And I was just like, they're about to fuck this thing up because this thing only has 2 hit points left and they don't know how strong it is.
Well, the thing had a lot of hit points for a
Should've
couple
killed
of
it.
level 1s.
That's another thing. There was only 2 of you in there. I wasn't expecting you guys to split up as you went through. That surprised me.
let's just say that like once we kind of get out of the scene of the crime, we all carry Ko on our shoulders, like he's like the
Spider-Man.
MVP of the game, you know.
That boy's a hero.
Why? He literally did the thing the one person in the room told him not to do.
Yeah, I think it's this one. He must have ate the gooseberries.
So I was wondering why I didn't put a goofberry in the guard's drink.
That's
Well,
what
we did, but he spilled it, so it was redundant. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was wondering.
Remember the second drink that you gave?
Yeah,
him?
that's what I was
Oh, right.
expecting. I was expecting Kelly to have put the gooseberry in the second drink that he handed to him.
I figured with the charm, he just needed to be pushed along as well. Like, he didn't really need any extra. I was trying to limit the charges against us as much as I could in case we were caught.
That's probably the best call, honestly, because if he did have the gooseberry with the charm, it might have been harder to get him to do what I needed him to do, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, because he would have been really stupid.
I just figured, like, giving a drunk person like pretty much a full beverage when they're just like, I just want another drink, and you just give them a full beer. You didn't need charm person almost at that point. He'd probably been like, cool, bro, I'm just gonna go hang out over here, like it just helps the charm person along.
Also, no one brought it up, but one thing I had considered is that the artificer professor had showed you how he controls the automatons with his gauntlet with the magicite in it.
I mean, that was kind of what I was getting at when I was asking for the weakness. I guess that would have been a further line of questioning.
I had that feather in my cap. You guys did good, and you accomplished it at level 1. You should be very proud of yourselves.
And it's
And
good to
do
have
we?
different options, like different ways of going about it, different ways we could have succeeded or failed and everything. So like the fact that
Yeah.
not every path was taken is perfect.
Yeah, I love it.
Do we gain a level?
Not yet, but that's soon. Soon.
Man,
It's a milestone. What you will have is
big heist.
at the end of when you start your next session, it will be time to distribute the knowledge dice that you have so far. Which is as I've been keeping score of everything you've been doing, and you had the chance to every time you pass something or achieve something, you get a point, and every time you get 4 points, you get a D4 that you can add to any roll after the fact to represent your sort of burgeoning expertise. And you all will be getting those starting on the next session.
Hooray.
I also thought that this would be a clever way to kind of speed up a week of school and still have you get some of your school time.
Yeah, absolutely. I was happy to see that. Like as much as I'm enjoying the classes from a D&D point of view, it could definitely make things drag if we do every week.
Yeah, because you don't want to do the same thing every single week, you know?
Yep. And something similar will happen next week because you will be preparing for your midterms. And that's the last little tease that I'll give you for next session.
I
Thanks
would
everybody for
be
playing.
interested, since we all started our electives, and how those work differently for us, because we all have, that's the one class we all have that's different than everyone else's, you know?
Sure, we'll touch on that next time. It would have been the week of the heist would have been your first elective, so maybe we'll touch base
Right.
on that at the top of next class. Or next session, rather. I'm referring to you as if you're all my students.
We kind of are.
That's right.
Now go unlock some dungeons in Stormblood. Become my
No,
student.
I think I'm gonna go play Nier actually.
Yeah, let's play later.
Cook dinner.
I'm gonna go get some solo squad wipes in Apex.
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna
need
go
to,
eat some mac and cheese. I'm starving.
I need to log
Yeah,
in and unlock the new hero.
I gotta cook dinner too. I'm gonna go cook some chicken strips.
So thank you, Kate. It was a fucking great game. Good job, everyone. It was fun.